Trust the prophets. Welcome in. It's Thursday night, and that means it's time for the cocktail lounge. Yes, I know. Normally, you're tuning in, and it's Sean introducing the night, and I'm the sidekick. But tonight, Sean is up at Saratoga for the weekend, so he won't be able to join us. But no need to fear. I will have a sidekick. I brought in a good friend. I hung out with him for the weekend, so I asked him to come hang out with us. And without further ado, we have Keith joining us each and every stride. What's up, Keith?
Hey, Tim, what's up, my man? And great to be on with you again and here in the cocktail lounge. It feels like it's been too long. And, handicapping some horses, betting with you the next couple hours. So really looking forward to it, and glad to be back here on Trust the Prophets and the cocktail lounge, and got some angles with some horses. I was looking at some, even trainers that have not as many entries this year, but the barns are running hot. So I'm going to be coming up with those angles, and let's have a big night in cash.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a good night. I think we do, just like last week, we're in a delay because of inclement weather down at Evangeline. The track is sloppy. We had 3 races scheduled for the turf. And of course, we are off the turf. I sent a note to Rob right before we went on the air and asked if we were off turf before they officially announced it. And he said probably all week. So we kind of got that message last week. But as I was starting to run things, getting ready for the show, looking at it, they were still showing, at least DRF was still showing, and I was refreshing my PPs, but everything still showed on turf. And I'm like, that can't be right. But let's see.
I probably should have asked that, because I saw a turf and I was hoping for it, because I capped either way. It seems like it's not going to be on turf. Yeah.
I honestly capped for being off turf. So I was just hoping that that's what we were going to do, because it looked like that's the way it was going to be. So let's see who we got with us tonight. Keith, we got Bobby D as usual. First bet, Bobby always in with the first bet. There he goes. Exacta box 4-1 with the 3-6. Joseph Myers, do you know who the special guest is? I think we do now, Joseph. And for those of you who may be newer to the channel, Keith's been a regular here at Trust the Prophets for a long time. It's been a little bit. He started his own channel, Each and Every Stride. Make sure you go give him a like and follow, and subscribe to his channel on YouTube. But we'll talk more about the weekend. But glad to have him back. We got 4 horses to win checking in. Gatekeepers here. The mayor of Turfway himself. What's up, Mike? And Ron Young. Let's get them, Mike, Ron and Mike and everybody else. It's if we do the way that we did on Tuesday night, Sean and I had a pretty good night.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be pretty hard act to follow, but this is horse racing. We're going to have a good time. And yeah, I know with the changes here that I see, it's adjustment with the surface switch. Obviously, there are going to be some scratches, but still a couple of horses I like throughout the card I'll be talking about.
Yeah, I've got a couple as well that aren't going to be, they're not morning line favorites, and we got a little bit of a price going in. We'll see how it changes as we get into the card here now with the track being officially off turf and sloppy. I did not only, Keith, I was taking a gamble here. Not only did I handicap a little bit for the turf races being off the turf, but I handicapped for sloppy wet stuff.
Oh, wow. That's a mutter on a mutter. That's it.
Yeah. He's a mutter, and his mutter was a mutter.
So you really got to dig in. That's good.
Going to find your channel and subscribe there, Keith. Make sure everybody subscribes to Keith's channel on YouTube. And if you did not, I know we got a couple of the Cocktail Lounge regulars that were checking in on Saturday, as I posted that I was joining Keith on his broadcast. He did Haskell Day live, and I checked in with him, and we crushed it.
Oh man, it was once this guy came on, Riders Up Tim right here, he just honestly crushed it. It was actually a horse that came from Penn Mile Day, Fierce and Strong, and supposedly came out of the race really well. I saw Carson's tweet. I retweeted that, and I just think that this is cool, right? You got a horse that is back-to-back big wins on stakes days. It'd be interesting where they're going to put this horse next. Any ideas? It seemed like a very tactical kind of horse that could be up front that doesn't need the lead necessarily.
Yeah, and while we're on that subject, let me say this real quickly. So I jumped in to Keith's broadcast right that day, right as that horse was going off, and his jockey is Tyler Connor. And if you guys have not heard, Tyler was involved in a horse that went down accident today at Colonial Downs in I believe it was the 7th race at Colonial, and they canceled the rest of the day. Tyler was airlifted out for medical treatment, and word is that he is conscious, speaking, and doing well. And I'll avoid all the rumors going around and just wait for official releases as to medical details. I'm not a doctor, but our prayers with Tyler because. Man, Keith and I actually spent an evening with him at Keeneland last year. He and I and a few other guys from Trust the Prophets, we were actually celebrating Sean's birthday, and Tyler was there along with a few other folks in the horse industry. And Caitlin was there. Caitlin Free was with us, and a few of our friends there. But definitely prayers out for Tyler. Keep him in your prayers, everyone. We definitely need him to come back healthy. Yeah, Ryan, I did see that note as well, that I guess some people had said that was one of the cases from his agent, but I'm just kind of holding off. I'm seeing stuff coming out from people's Twitter accounts, but I'll wait for some official releases before I try saying exactly what it was, even though that's according to his agent. And I did see Ed post that, but. Yeah, our thoughts and prayers are with Tyler, and hope he gets back safely and quickly. But they need to take a look at that ride as well as to the reason he went down. And there was a horse that won the race that was taken down, and probably a little bit of a reckless ride. And we'll wait to see what happens with that as well.
Yeah, just prayers up, and just a gentleman. I spoke to Tyler and his agent, and yeah, it was a great night. That a lot of horse racing, people within the industry, and showing up for the mayor's birthday, right? So mayor of Twitter, Sean Patrick Nolan. So yeah, just thinking of Tyler, just all the reports that came out. Obviously not out of the woods yet, but it's just something that I'm not a doctor. I don't want to, like you said, I don't want to read into anything too much, and just thinking of him and his family and everything.
Yeah, and real quick, I don't want to cut you off here, but the last race at Saratoga is about to go off, and just to let everybody know real quickly, Exactabox, if you can get it in 3-9, that's what I'm playing. I'm just playing an Exacta 3-9 in the finale at Saratoga. So see if we can get that home here. We started off the show last week with a trifecta win that I gave out on air right as we came in, but they are off in the last at Saratoga. On the turf in the last from the inside, there's the 8 going out to the lead. That's Kid Creasa. Via de la Spiga is outside in second. Down on the rail in third is Doomed, and that's Rohan, the 3 that I like coming up on the outside in fourth. It's a couple links back to the 7. A couple more back to the 3 on the rail, or excuse me, the 12 on the rail, the 13, and the 9 trails them all right now. 23.12 in the quarter. Kid Creasa leads them down the back stretch. It's 2 links back to Via de la Spiga, and then down on the rail is Doomed. Just outside that one, Rohan, who takes a step backwards there. Looked like an awkward step. The 7 on the rail is back there in 5th, coming up outside everybody. That looks like the 13, Mr. Colossal, starting to get in gear as we head for the far turn. Kid Creasa still leads them. The half was in 47-4. Got about a length lead over Via de la Spiga. It's been those 2 the entire way. Mr. Colossal starting to make up room. Doomed is still down inside, now in 4th from 3rd. Our 3 has yet to get moving, but looks to be starting that way. So here comes the 3 on the outside as we hit the top of the stretch. The 3/4 went 111 and 2. We've got the 8 up front. Down on the rail on the inside, I believe that's the 6 horse that had that trip coming up far. Here comes Right to Win. Right to Win is going to get up in the finale. The 9 horse gets up for second. So
Oh, wow.
my nine got there, but the 3 didn't. 3 faded late.
It was a, pretty good read there with that one horse. And, that was Saratoga's finale. Now it looks like I might put in a play for Woodbine's final race. Looks like only 7 races. So I think I'm going to perhaps look at this. I've had this crazy angle, Tim, of hitting like a win place bet on the final race at Woodbine. And it's not with Emma. Usually Emma would be the one to win the last race, but
Emma Jane in the last.
just want to cap this real quick, 3 minutes to post. Yeah, you're right though. Evangeline is they backed up their post time, and we'll look for further updates soon.
Taking a look here at Woodbine since Keith was talking about that one. Yeah, we got about 2 minutes until they go off there at Woodbine.
Ooh, I think the public kind of saw what I saw on the 8, 10-1 morning line, got all the way bet down to 3-1. This horse comes from Turfway. It'll be the second start at Woodbine. Was bet that day at Woodbine. Disappointed 7th, and 5-2 that day. Second time, and for a barn that is doing pretty well right now for Marty Drexler.
Yeah,
the 8 looks pretty good. Let me see if there's anybody else here.
I do think the 7, just giving it a quick glance, the 7 looks pretty solid, but I definitely agree that the 8 might have a shot here. And then
look at this 3.
That was your morning line favorite, has floated up a little bit, but I kind of like the 9-2 price on that one. Probably throw in a trifecta box on those 3 and see what happens. It's pretty chalky, but
what was the third horse? The 3?
3? No, the 3, 7, and 8.
Yeah. I was looking at the 3 here. Second place, nice finish last time, and seemed to kind of round back into form. I'm trying to see if there's anybody else I like. 1 minute to post. I know that they're pretty quick at Woodbine. Let's look at this 9.
The one a little bit that might have a chance here is the 5 horse might have a chance to get underneath if you're playing vertical exotics here, because I think this one's going to be closing pretty hard in the stretch here. As we head inside to the turf course.
Okay, let me put my play in here. Just taking a look at the 10 real quick. 8th. Oof, this horse is off form. Let's see, 5th career start. So for Sophia. I'm actually just going to stick with I'm going to go with a win place bet on the 8. I think this horse has got a couple upside angles, and hopefully you can get some around 7-2. I would take that right now. So win place for me on the 8.
Bobby D is playing a 7-8-3 with 9 and 10. I definitely like the 7 and 8. I think those are the 2 horses here. He's playing 7-8-3, excuse me, with the 9 and 10, if I didn't mention that. But I think this 5's got an underneath shot as well.
Okay. Always the last race seems like, right? There's always a price, some that comes up. Pretty odd. Let's see. All right, I'm going with a win place on the 8. I just locked that in.
Keith, Uncle Sully's happy to see you, not so much to see me.
What's up, Uncle Sully? Appreciate it's been too long, and appreciates people like you in the chat that always want to come back for more and interact with the chat. And it's cool that you could drop your plays and we're giving plays, and hopefully we all cash. I'm actually going to open up my beer here. I got the Sapporo Black Premium for you. So there you go, Tim. I know you like your dark lager. That's it.
I definitely like the darker beers. The 10 got out of the gate pretty slow.
Okay.
Other than that, they're pretty even across the track. From the middle, it looks like the 6 is going to want to take the lead here. That's One More Doll. Up on the outside, that's a 9 horse coming up into second. Ecliptical Ladybug. Down on the inside, that's Danish Cookie in third. You got 2 horses across the track behind that in 4th and 5th. That is the 7 inside, the 8 to the outside. That's under agreement. It's another 2 back, and that is the 3 down on the inside. The 5 is between horses, the 10 outside, and the 2 trails. The quarter was 24 flat. Ecliptical Ladybug outside, 1 more doll, puts a nose in front on the inside, 2 back to Danish Cookie in 3rd, another couple of links. Comfortable under a nice easy ride is under agreement, but up front, it's still the Shoddy Exacta, 6 and 9, 9 and 6. Ecliptical Ladybug outside, 1 more doll inside. Danish Cookie kind of makes a little bit of a move to the outside of those 2. Here comes as well. It looks like back the Black Goddess, the 5 I was hoping for, starting to get into gear a little bit. Here comes the 8 as well. The 2 from last is just coming like a rocket on the outside as we hit the top of the stretch. Wow. There is Danish Cookie to the lead down inside. That's Ecliptical Ladybug. From the far outside, Madam Gwen at 9-1 with all the momentum takes the lead and starts to pull away. Danish Cookie back in 2nd. Pat's Holiday coming on, going to get there for 2nd, but up front, it's going to be 2, 7 and 1. Madam Gwen with the last of 1st. Rocket.
Yeah, it's actually a familiar jockey that we know from Assiniboia Downs, right? Yeah, Walcott.
Madam Gwen.
I always look at the horse right away and say,
yeah, no, that's what I went back and what did I miss? I just thought the horse, stepping up in class a little bit, coming off a, I like that 2nd off, 3rd off a layoff. So
yeah, graduates in race number 10 at the finale at Woodbine. I get it. I mean, the horses had a lot of honest efforts, but yeah, 10 times the charm. And I know Del Mar just is race 4 is underway. I did not bet it.
No, I don't really bet California.
That was a firm no from Tim.
Nope, don't do it. Wouldn't do it.
Yeah, we had a fun time last year, even at the Parks Derby, Tim. So yeah, no, there's it's early, but there was a couple of horses chattered for that spot. Maybe Gosker. That would be pretty cool to get at least, very honest horse that's been in the money multiple times this year. Good horse.
Yeah, definitely one that would have a strong chance going to Parks. Would not be the competition that horse has been facing.
You think they'll give that horse
no journalism at Parks?
I don't think they're going to ship him over again for that. Yeah.
No, journalism would definitely he'll be staying out for the Pacific Classic.
What do you think of that decision? I was a little I thought it was going to lead to the Travers, but then they're going to give this horse a little bit more rest. I get it.
Kind of to be expected. I mean, he's avoiding the East Coast horses. He wins as long as a horse named Sovereignty isn't in there. So
it sounds like if they're going to race again, face each other, it's going to be in the Classic.
Maybe. We will see. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good
the Classic is shaping up to be a really strong race. We'll take a look and see what happens.
We'll talk about that later for sure. It's going to be a horse that you were very high on and that ran in the Kentucky Derby 2 years ago is going to be in that race, I think, too. Forever Young.
Yes. Yes, it looks like he'll come back for that one as well. He just keeps missing the big races over here and just missing them. And I think they want a strong race in the U.S. on the resume, a strong win in the U.S. on the resume.
Good stuff.
But we got 25 minutes to race 1 here at Evangeline. It looks like once again we're sloppy track off the turf for all the races. If you look at the first race, the 2 is scratched. And interestingly to me, I was kind of shocked. There was an MTO here, main track only entry of the 9 horse. And then there's a horse that scratches to where this horse can get in and they scratch.
Oh, interesting. So you think, was there any reason for that scratch? You think it was a vet thing?
I was trying to look and see if maybe there was a cross enter and this horse was entered in another race and they decided to go there, but I didn't see anything in the PPs. But I thought it was really interesting that you're here as an MTO and we go to main track and then there's scratches to where you can get in the race, but you don't. Interesting.
Must have been some reason. You might have to look at that trainer and see what's up. Does he have he doesn't have another horse in this race, right? Yeah, let's see.
No, I don't think so. Brett Brinkman.
No, okay.
What's up, Dennis? Dennis Trusty in the chat.
What's up, Dennis?
Been under the weather all week, starting to feel better.
Yeah, it's been some going around, even around here. About a week and a half ago, I definitely I don't usually get sick, and I got a cold. I even took the test and everything. I was negative and just kind of went on with my life. I missed a day or two of work, though. Pretty rare for me. But I'm back too. Good. Hope you're feeling better, Dennis.
But Uncle Sully wants to know why you're here so early, Dennis.
I thought he was going to say me. No, that's... And Dennis is a great handicapper. If you want to you follow his picks and just see his angles, he comes up with these angles with the conditions. So shout out to you, Dennis.
Enrique, good evening. Welcome in.
Yeah, I mean, it's this first race. I know we're going to talk about it. I was kind of hoping it would be the turf because they did scratch that number 2 horse. I was a little excited to bet that horse, but obviously not going to happen today. I want to put this horse in my digital stable because this is Wickedly Royal. This horse had some nice workouts and then behind the gate in the last, but we'll have to save that bet for another day because the number 2 scratched in the opener at Evangeline.
Yes. Pretty interesting looking at the odds right now. And I know that the morning line odds were based on us being on the turf, but your morning line 20-1 shot, number 6, Kiki's Sweet Dream, is currently your 3-1 favorite. Which I think is interesting.
Yeah, I want to look at, as the money comes into these pools, see if there's any action on the doubles and things like that with this horse.
Yeah, it's obviously early. There's not a lot of money in the pools. There's not even $1,000 in the win pool. So
it's actually only $700 in the double pool.
Yeah, not a lot of money. We'll wait. It'll get closer and things will start to shake out a little bit. But also, jockey change, if you guys aren't getting the live stats, jockey change on the 7, that's going to be Joel Dominguez. Joel Dominguez is riding the 7.
Wow, I feel like I haven't handicapped Evangeline in quite a while. And, these are obviously a lot of connections, even from Delta. Delta, I believe, they were in their, quarter horse meet. But yeah, I look forward to betting, Tim Thornton and some of these classic jockeys from Louisiana that have been doing it a while.
Yeah, there's a couple. Tommy Pompeo, who's on the 5 in this race here, is somebody that when I was playing Fairmount, when I was stationed there back in the day, he was a young guy just starting out at Fairmount Park. Now kind of makes his home down in the Bayou.
Cool. They actually went by the name at Fairmont. Even last meet, I think it was like FanDuel Racing, but now it's just back to Fairmont. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Guess they kind of ended that, ended that agreement.
Keith Louise says hello, says you on a new guy channel.
Yeah, I mean, I started Each and Every Stride channel and always be here on the Trust the Profits, supporting everybody, all these great handicappers. So thank you for the comment. And yeah, if you have a moment, you could just even search in YouTube. You'll see the 2 horses coming together, looking to cash a ticket. So it's Each and Every Stride on YouTube. If you just put that, and maybe even we'll drop the link in the chat. I appreciate that support.
No links in the chat. No, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It doesn't let you put them in.
Well, that's it. I didn't know if that was even possible. Okay.
No.
I know Razor does it, I guess, on his channel. Yeah.
Not sure what he's putting in there, but for some reason it doesn't allow it. Irene, welcome in. Yeah, they've had some crazy weather, and I saw an X post that Rob put out about half hour before we went live, and said that it was sunny there 1 minute and all of a sudden it was pouring. And I guess they've gotten quite a bit of rain because they are sloppy and off the turf. So sloppy track tonight. No turf racing. So this first one was scheduled to be on the turf, and we were going to be off. Be on the main track in the slop. The 2 and the 9 again are scratched out of the first race, and getting a little bit closer. We're about 19 minutes, Keith. What do you think? As the guest here, I usually take the first, but I will give you the opportunity if you want the first race. So.
Yeah, tough one. I just thought of, I was kind of wondering why some of these horses are getting the money that they are. I think, like you said, I think things are going to shake out pretty clear in the next 10 minutes. One of my New Year's resolutions was don't bet just based on the tote board, right? You got to come up with your opinion. I mean, I think that the 3 is a good horse on the dirt. I like the switch to the dirt for Lassie B, the 3. If you look, I mean, it's just a lot of, still looking to break the maiden. Let's take a look. I had an angle on this horse. Only 1 second and 2/3 in 7 starts this season. Now, last race ran a poor speed figure. Let's talk about why. I have it here. Is that press the pace and weaken, kind of a speed and fade angle, was bet that day, this last race, the 3 at 3-1, and lost to a horse that I think is going to maybe make some noise in Louisiana. It's actually Synthetic. It's the name of the horse. So I don't know how they got that name for that horse. The horse that won that race, I'm going to go with the angle that was a pretty strong race. If you go back and look at the call, though, Synthetic, the winner, was dominating. The Lassie B at least came on and showed you an effort there for 4th. I think it's going to be a move forward for the Ronnie Ward trainee. 3 is going to be my top pick. Even I like it even more with the surface switch. So the 3 is my top pick. Let me see who else I was considering in this race. And then, yeah, I mean, this the 4, who currently just switched to the favorite, which is interesting because this horse was not bet in the beginning, has had a lot of dirt efforts, comes from Louisiana Downs, was in a stakes race. That was in the mud. I think it's going to be back second time at Evangeline. And I like how this horse's second time back from the layoff. The blinkers go on today for the first time for Miss Parker here, the 4 horse. So I think it's going to be 3, 4. I'm trying to think if I can come up with a third horse. I'm pretty strong on the 3, though. I think the 3 is going to be in the money at least. And just trying to figure out why the money's on the 8 a little bit too. This horse debuted and turf maiden special weight, didn't show anything at fairgrounds. Maybe I got to look at the pedigree a little bit more. 8 could be a player, though. The fact that the money showed up and debuted at fairgrounds. So I'm trying to think how I'm going to play it, but I want to hear your opinion. We are 16 minutes to post.
Yeah, we still got plenty of time. Let's take a quick look here. Yeah, Dennis, I wouldn't worry too much about the board right now. There's really no money in it. So the odds are definitely going to change here. So we'll wait a little bit and see how things shake out as we get a little bit closer here. But you mentioned the horse that I ended up on, and it's the 4. Yep. The 4, Elise Parker, is one that I'm really interested in here in this spot. And I was a little bit wondering, most of these horses had not run on the turf. So the fact that they were entered in a turf race, I thought it was really confusing. So I'm glad I went ahead and I handicapped it for both being off the turf and for wet. And if you if you look at the Tomlinson numbers for a wet track for the number 4, they're pretty strong. Anytime you have over 400 numbers. Now, this horse does have a race in the mud, but let's take a look at that. Oh yeah, that was Louisiana Down, Louisiana Cup Juvenile Fillies. So that was a very strong field. So it's not surprising that this horse didn't hit the board in that race. But they thought enough of her to put her in there. And now she comes back to Evangeline. She had the one race there, which when you look at that race, it doesn't look like a lot. But I think this horse moves forward off of a wet track. And I think that she's going to show speed. And I love the blinkers on angle. Because if you look here with blinkers on for the trainer, it's only had 7 times, but 29% with a positive ROI, 203. Oh, so anytime I see a number like that, it's a low sample size. I get it in this case, but still pretty solid. So 2 for 7, I think that's a pretty decent percentage there. So I really like the 4 in this spot. The one inside I think is really interesting here. You look at the top 3 races, they're all turf. So I tried to go back before that. If you look back in November of last year, this horse went 7 furlongs in the mud and was closing up a little bit. But I do think if you look 2 back at that turf race, and if you look at those 3 races and at a mile, now we're sprinting 5 furlongs. This horse has shown some front end speed. So does have the potential to improve, does have that one race on the wet track. So maybe likes the wet that particular day with speed favoring in the mud, which happens a lot on your wet tracks. And this horse was further back, but still able to close up a little bit. So something interesting there to keep an eye on. I do like your 3 a little bit, but I ended up putting that one in 4th. And you mentioned this one. I went, my 3rd pick is the 8 all the way outside Ocean Val. And a couple of things about this one that I thought were interesting. So just had the one race back in March on the turf and now has been off for a little bit, but is working really well. And I look at that 2 back bullet and the speed that this one showed in that 3 furlong work. And I think that it could be interesting if this one decides to get out here early on in a race that outside Elise Parker, I don't see a lot of other speed. So if these horses take back too much, those 2 might kind of run away from everybody. So really good race here to kick things off. But 4, 1, 8, and 3 is where I ended up.
Well, you got a big price on that one. I've been looking a little bit further and further on this horse. Let's see. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a pretty wide open field. I mean, did you have any thoughts on? I was a little surprised the money was on the 6. Now we're seeing that kind of back off. The Spicy Mustard horse, the number 5, feels like this horse just doesn't get it done when asked. Did you have any big thoughts on the 5? Obviously not in your top 4.
No, and I'm always looking when Tommy Pompeo is on a horse because he does pretty well here, and the connections. He's 14% with Thomas, and but I just thought that this one's been. If you look at the last 2 times out, although they were a little bit earlier in the year and we've been off a layoff, those last 2 times out, this one was in a little bit softer, not in the maiden special weight class, and when this one was in those races, the dirt races didn't show as much early speed early on, but you could make a case on that 6 February the 22 February race on the turf base that the horse showed a little bit of early speed, but the muddy race in 10 January, maybe a little bit as well. But I just thought maybe a little bit lesser than some of these. But if this one runs back to a couple of those figures, then there definitely could be competitive. But I'm just playing against this one. And the main reason is 0 for 3 in the wet.
Okay.
Has not hit the board on a wet track. So for that reason, I'm out.
Love that. I was waiting for a video to come up now. That's it. That's good. That's great.
Enrique.
10 minutes.
Let me Enrique's here from Venezuela. He said he no inglés. That's okay, Enrique. Si quieres, podemos hablar en español también.
There you go. Yeah, I got a little time. How I think I guess the guest is gonna have the first bet. Wow, this is a pretty tough race. I think with this, like you said, we had to plan for this sloppy weather. I saw thunderstorms in the forecast, and I was looking forward to betting that too. Did you? If the race was on turf, did you like the two?
I did. The two would have been my top pick on turf, but I didn't spend a lot of time on it. I wrote notes, top pick on if on turf, but I didn't think they would be. So interesting right now. I was just looking at Tool Time's picks on the screen here. He's 8-1-3. He doesn't even like my 4. But the 3 he's got third is your 5-2 favorite, and he's got that one underneath horses that right now are 5-1 and 16-1. And I do have both of those horses, but I have them underneath. I like the 4 here. I like the 4 in this spot.
Interesting that you and Rob actually lined up on the 1 at a price too. Currently 14-1. Let's see.
I just think that this one has races that that definitely make her competitive in here. You get rid of the turf races on top, and then the horse does have a race in the wet. Got a third there.
I'm thinking, the thing is, we want to get paid in this first race. And, I do like the 3, but I don't know if I'm going to like the 3 at 2-1 on top. That's where you got to make a decision. I like the 3 at least for second. I'm going to come up with a creative play. I'm actually working on it right now.
Yeah, the 3's numbers, if you're looking from a speed figure perspective, and maybe that's what a lot of people are doing from a speed figure perspective, this horse looks like she may be better than the rest, but I'm not sure she likes the wet stuff. She's 0-2 on a wet track and really hasn't shown. If you look at her front running form to where she shows a lot of 2s on the front end, typically just off the pace, and then you go back to the slop in the mud, the slop, she's much further back. The mud, she's a little further back. So I'm not sure she likes the wet going. So I put her further underneath for me, but I do think that the 4 is one who should definitely have early speed and like the wet going. So I really like the 4 in this spot, and I hope the odds stay the way they are at 7-2 for me. But another thing on the 1 for me was I'm big on horses on the cutback like this. If they show that they have any kind of speed, and I think this one does. So that's what another reason I like the 1 in here. Horse should be fit, has run a couple of mile races on the turf. So getting into the sprinting, I think it opens things up with this competition here. And
hold me on this 1 too a little bit.
It's maidens, Keith, and we always say maidens are always interesting, and 2-1 on this 3 horse. I like the 3 a little bit underneath, but I definitely don't like 3-1. And here we go for the first time tonight. Keith in the paddock. Riders up! It's riders up time.
What year was that from? That's cool. That's a great video.
I don't even remember.
Next time they're going to have you do it, Tim.
I've been asking Churchill for my shot for years now. Never get
You've been negotiating with them, right? And you got to get the right price, right? Yeah, let's see if we can get paid here in the first race. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just fade the 5. The more I look at the 5, at least the top 2 play. Kind of interested in the 8 a little bit. I'm gonna come up with a creative exacta. I think we got 5 minutes to post. So, hey, you know what? Let's see where they are right now. You mentioned, yeah, they're on the track. So I guess you're giving me the first race. I think I'm ready for my play. I'm ready for big balloons in the first race.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so I'm gonna play an exacta, but it's gonna involve a couple of horses. So it's gonna be a straight exacta, $2 base. So it's gonna be a $12 play, and we're gonna be looking for some prices. So I'm actually gonna go with this in the first spot, either the 1 or the 4. I have to win. That's gonna be 1-4 over 3-4. I'm sorry, 1-4 over 1-3-4-8.
Okay.
I'm going to play it for $12. Guess we're doing the $100 bankroll.
Yes.
Good stuff. All right.
So 1-4 over 1-3-4-8, right?
Yeah, 1-4 over 1-3-4-8.
Got it.
All right.
All right, there is our first play of the night. We're playing a $2 exacta 1-4 with 1-3-4-8. Let me take that $12 out of the bankroll.
There you go. And if obviously you might put a side play on this 4, you're getting the better price right now, 4-1. What's this?
We always say in here, Keith, it's like we've all got our own opinions, and when it's your race, you play it your way. And
this is like Burger King, right? I could have it my way. But yeah, it seems like that kind of race to get creative with an exacta. I just didn't want to box 3 and just kind of feel like you're devaluing it a little bit. But yeah, again, I don't know if I like the 3 a lot. I just don't know. I don't want this horse to win 2-1 on top. So I have the horse second.
all right, what's everybody playing in the chat? I haven't seen many bets in there other than Bobby D's.
Let's see what we got here. Have a good workout, Joseph. Thanks for tuning in. I was reading an article. I've been doing more reading online just with my handicapping. And the one, forget who it was, said, like, don't be discouraged if a horse debuts in a maiden level on one surface and then the trainer actually switches it to another surface. And, well, keep the horse in. I keep on looking back at this 8. I think the 8 could run a big race. Ocean Vow.
Yeah, I definitely think that the 8 is capable. I've got the 8 in there for sure.
Man, this could be a monster exacta if we can get it.
Let's see if we can get it home here.
Yeah, 1 minute to post. Let's see. Sloppy track. I'm trying to take a look at it. It does look pretty sloppy. But we've seen some money pour in now. Let's take a look at the double pool real quick. I was talking about the 6 was the early favorite. Now, currently the 6 is 9-1. So the money showed up, like we were saying. And it's just, 6 kind of faded a little bit. And was the favorite early on in the doubles. Now it's kind of at least the 5th choice.
And we got 1 minute. The horses are circling behind the gate here a little bit.
I looked at the 7. 7's actually never ran. It looks like at Evangeline was a monster 95-1 at Fairgrounds. Finished, ran like the odds, 8th place, and then goes to the Louisiana Downs. Actually, was 3-1 that day. Disappointed 5th place. Maybe the bettors are thinking that this horse could finally show up with the money at this level in this condition. I don't know. You got any thoughts on the 7 before they go to the gate?
No, not really. Honestly, it's one that I just kind of glossed over, looked at it. I mean, the only thing that I kind of kind of made me pause a little bit was the bullet workout at Louisiana Down. But this one hasn't run at Evangeline, and they're very much different tracks. So I took a pass with the connections as well. So just nothing that got my attention.
Good stuff. So yeah, currently it looks like Tim, the Lassie B is the 8-5 current favorite.
Craziness. There's no way that
Right.
I say this a lot in maiden races like this. I don't want an 8-5 on an off turf 5 furlong sprint in the slop. 4 maidens. It's like, yeah, I'll pass on the 8-5 under all of that, all of those variables. What's up, Dan? Got 4 win in place and a 5-9 with 259 exact at Del Mar. Good luck, Dan.
Oh, okay. Good luck. Got it on the other screen over here, actually.
What's that, Del Mar?
Yeah, I got Del Mar. It's race 5. Haven't bet it today. I just kind of always have it in the background just in case we want to talk about a race or whatever. But yeah, down the stretch here at Del Mar, and it looks like wow, looks like the big price on top, the 7. Let's see if the 7 can hold on. It's gonna get really close at the end here though, but it's gonna be wow, another price comes up. If I could see this correctly, just got to see that. Wow, looked like maybe the 5 one. I'll get back to you on that.
Sure. We are 0 minutes.
Oh, you got it. You got the win on that 4 horses.
Yeah, it's a 1579. I'm not sure how that was played. Was that an exacta there?
Wow, I think you got a monster play right there. I think it was a 5-7. It was a 3-1 over 15-1. Well done. All right, we're loading into the gate. Interested to see how this 4 breaks, right, with first time blinkers.
Yeah, see if we can get the 4 out and see who else shows a little speed.
All right, let's get this. 1 has to break well. Come on.
I think we might get some speed from the 8 as well. The 1 maybe sits just off those 2. We'll see.
8's getting bet late.
Coming down a little bit. This 1, 17-1.
Hey, this is gonna be monster if we can get this paid.
Let's get the 1 underneath.
Oh, 7's acting out a little bit. Okay.
The 3 and the 8 are co-favorites at 2-1, but the 3 it will be your post-time favorite, and now takes a little bit more money, drops down to 3-2 as late money comes in. I don't want any part of 3-2.
Looks like they're gonna try to reload the 8 again here.
Get her in there. And we can't show the races, but we'll do our best to let you know what's going on. The 3 gets a good break and heads out to the lead. The 4 sits just outside that one in second. From the far outside, that's the 7 in third. The 6 in between horses, fourth. The 8 comes up outside from 5th into 3rd. And the 5 is currently at the back up front. Elise Parker is leading them. The quarter went in 22 flat. Back behind that one, that's the 3 Lassie B outside of Kinsley Grace. Excuse me, that's Ocean Battle outside of Kinsley Grace.
Let's go.
We got Late Speed coming here. Who is that on the outside? Is that the 6 horse or is that's the 5? It looks like starting to get into gear there. The 7 down on the inside. Here comes the 3 starting to make up ground. We've got the 4 there. The 3 is coming with all the late momentum, and the 3 just goes right by. But it is those 2 3, 4, close for third. Photo between the 5 and the 7.
Damn. 3 was saving ground and just kind of tipped out. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely got the trip. Wasn't sure you'd be able to close. Not as familiar with Evangeline and how it plays in the wet, so we'll make note of that for the next race. Continue to watch how it's playing, but the 3 definitely got a decent trip. I actually was outside a little bit of horses and everything, but just kind of waited and came with 1 run in the stretch, 1 kind of handily. The 4 was the speed and kind of showed that and was right there, really close for third between the 5 and the 7. I think the 5 may have gotten a nose in front on the wire, had all the momentum outside the 7, who was down inside on the rail.
All right.
But 3, 4 in the first.
Yeah, good. I mean, good call still on that 4. Ran, good race and just came back to the 3s, consistency on the dirt. And that was just a good race. It kind of, was 0 for 3, as you mentioned, on the slot, but kind of like the off going today.
I was just looking. You're right, Irene. The 5 did get it. The 5 on the outside. That's what it looked like. The 5 from the outside got third, so it was close. But the 5 did get up. So 3, 4, 5. And the thing, and we're official. They go official quick down there. But the thing that surprised me the most is that the 4, Elise Parker, didn't seem to get a whole lot of play. I mean, wasn't being picked. Didn't get a whole lot of play. I thought the 3, the 4 was definitely going to be the horse on the speed. I did think the 3 was more of an underneath play, but definitely closed up nicely, took advantage.
Guy, nice place payout actually too on the 4, considering the favorite. I believe it was the favorite that won. Place payout is $5.40.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Definitely.
All right, we'll get him next time though. It was just the first one, and I believe the 8 actually finished last. So horse just did not like the sloppy going at the end.
Got to give a shout out here to Rob checking in on us from the track there. Thanks, Rob. We don't mind waiting. We love the racing down at Evangeline, so gives us an opportunity to hit the last race at Saratoga before we start all the fun at Evangeline down. So thanks for checking in. We love the racing down there, and my friend Sean's up at Saratoga this weekend, so Sean won't be on the broadcast with us here, but we got Keith doing the pinch hitter role here with us tonight. But hopefully,
cool to see you in the chat, Rob.
Hopefully, have a great night on the call. Stays safe on the track there tonight in the wet.
For sure. Thanks for checking in.
And Rob, can you do something about all the wet conditions down there? Can we get a turf race sometime in the next month?
Just put a dome over the track, right? At this point, yeah, no, it's looks like a nice small track, and I mean, for the most part, these fields have kind of stayed mostly intact tonight.
Yeah, we do have 1 out here in the second, so scratch the 5. Betonia, if you had that one, scratch that one off your ticket. But we do have a pretty solid favorite in here. Morning line odds 9-5 on Crawfish Burl, the 1 horse, currently sitting at 6-5.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Originally I was against this horse as a favorite, but I believe the muddy track moves this horse up.
We will see. We'll see if I think we can beat that one or not.
Okay. It's going to be your race now, Tim. Awesome.
Keith, I'm going to leave you for 1 second. I'm going to do a quick water refill. I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure. Speaking of which, I'm going to just hydrate real quick. And yeah, so thanks everybody. It's nice to be back here on Trust the Prophets, doing a fill-in for Sean Patrick Nolan. He's up at Saratoga this weekend. It's going to be, the Jim Dandy for, wow. It's going to be this Saturday. Just look at that field again. It's a Only 5 horses, but pretty good 5 horses to say the least, especially the top 3-year-old in Sovereignteen. We'll be talking about that throughout the show. Definitely drop your plays in the chat. Let's see here. That's good. It's 14 minutes to post for Evangeline race 2. So I think that's pretty accurate. You think they kind of probably going to move it along a little bit after the delay?
They do pretty well with keeping the time down there at Evangeline. Unlike a lot of people that drag out those gate times and everything, it's 0 minutes.
I remember those shows.
And they're flashing graphics saying 2 minutes to post, and it's like, but it says 0 there, and it's just like
they're circling in the paddock. Yeah.
All right, everybody, check out my new shirt. Trust the Prophets.
Oh, cool.
El Hombre's Cocktail Lounge.
Sweet. That's awesome. How long have you had that shirt? That's cool.
I just got it. Formula sent it to me this week.
Great stuff.
After the gelding, whoa, wait a minute. I don't remember anything about that.
I mean, there were a couple of geldings actually handicapped on today's card. I haven't had good luck with betting geldings recently, so I'm kind of staying away a little bit. And I bet a couple of gray horses yesterday. They totally didn't run a step.
Well, we got a couple of first-time geldings, at least one. I thought it was 2. We might have 2, but we've got at least one tonight that I saw in the PPs.
The same race. Yeah, I think that's coming up soon.
But in here in this next race 2, we got about 13 minutes left. This is on the dirt at a mile. Once again, we're sloppy. This is a claiming $5,000, not fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 races.
Okay, so we just have one scratch, as you mentioned, the 5.
Yeah, and I didn't have the 5 as much of a factor in here, so.
All right, let's look.
Shouldn't impact a whole lot.
Yeah, I was mentioning when you were just briefly away is the Jim Dandy is coming up, I believe, right this Saturday. So, no, it's a short field, but interesting. I think there's a horse or two that is going to challenge the 3-year-old, current 3-year-old champ right now. But I've lost some money on that one horse a couple of times, just to say the least. And I think he's going to get a good trip, though. I think Baeza going back to the old rider, I think it's going to be a good trip for Baeza in a 5-horse field.
I'll tell you, I said it on the broadcast the other night. We were talking a little bit about the weekend and the race, and I think that's the most overrated 3-year-old in the country.
Oh, yeah, no, because of the finish. It's right, just getting up for third.
Yeah,
just getting
up the horse has gotten up for third in the Derby and the Belmont, but I've yet to be impressed.
You think Magnitude is a horse that could just move ahead of him? Yeah,
I think Magnitude's the real deal. I want to see Magnitude come back and face good competition. Yes, I totally agree.
I like him.
The Derby that horse was in, that there was no competition, but Keith. When you're in a race with no competition, what should you do?
Trounce him.
And what did he do?
And he had a very good. The buyer was what 107
yards. So if you look at his last 2 buyers, I mean they're extremely high 3 digits, and you're talking about a horse who had a long layoff, and to come back and do that in his first, it was a soft position. I think they placed him kind of well, and there wasn't a whole lot of competition, but I think you will see competition in the next. I would not be surprised if you see him up at Saratoga.
He's actually there.
Yeah, what's that? Yeah, but I mean, in the next big race.
Wow, like a month from now? Okay.
Yeah, maybe a month from now or so. What do you think?
You think that's a little too long of a layoff for him? Like to kind of wait that long? It's an interesting spot because it sounds like journalism's not going to be there. Yeah.
How long was he off with the injury?
Yeah, good point. Maybe just needs a little extra. Exactly. He came back strong in the the Iowa sprint? Or no, not even sprint, just the
Kevin, you gotta tell me what you're talking about. You're yelling in all caps with lots of exclamations, and I'm not saying anything about him. He's not even running this weekend in the Jim Dandy. Journalism wins for fun. I love journalism. You see my photo of him winning the Kentucky Derby back there? I love our sovereignty, excuse me, but you confuse me because you're saying the Jim Dandy here, but
no, I mean they obviously Mott and Godolphin, they had this all planned out for sovereignty, ahead of time, right? This was the plan, and then
yeah.
Jim Dandy, Travers, Classic. They were never considering the Preakness. I know a lot of people on horse racing Twitter kind of lost their mind on that one, but
yeah,
hey, it is what it is. It's a different age in horse racing right now, and who knows how the horse would have ran that day, but it just comes back to preserving the horse. Maybe there's a bigger plan. We might see this horse race at 4 years old too. You never know.
Look, I know Mott's horse is in the Jim Dandy full. And what I was talking about though was a horse that's not in the Jim Dandy. You're telling me a horse is the best in the Jim Dandy. I believe Sovereignty is the best horse in the country. I don't understand your argument. You're arguing a point that I agree with and doing it with all caps and exclamation points. So good luck to you, buddy. I'll put you in a little timeout. If you can calm yourself when you come back, you can stay, or we'll just hit ban. All I'm talking about is Magnitude has put up a couple of big wins. I think he's going to factor later on in the races. That's all I said. But Sovereignty is, in my opinion, listen to this, listen closely if you're watching, Sovereignty is better than Magnitude. My point was, I think Magnitude may be better than Journalism. And I said maybe. He's not right now, but let's let him race himself back into shape. He's been on the shelf for a while. That's all the point I was making there.
Great training job.
I love Sovereignty, and I have from the beginning, and I warmed up to him a lot more as we got closer to the Derby and everything, but for sure. But yes, I am a fan, as you can see from my picture back there, but signed by Junior. Where's my friend Groundhog in the chat here? Gifted me that.
Oh, that's really nice. Wow. Let me look at that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll grab it and pull it up here in a second.
Yeah, it's for, Sean's one of his favorite riders that he just thinks that is always underappreciated, Junior Alvarado.
Exactly. So we got 7 minutes to post here. No, it's not Sovereignty Kool-Aid. I mean, until somebody proves that horse can be beaten, I mean, he's just the races he's run have just been super impressive. I don't like to get in on the Kool-Aid wagons on any horse, but you got to give horses their props when they go out and prove it. And until somebody beats a horse, you got to drink a little bit, right, Bob? Yeah, I know. No worries, man. Until he goes out and somebody beats him, and somebody will. He'll have a bad race and somebody will beat him. So it happens to all of them. But right now, man, he just looks super tough. And the crazy thing is, you look at a horse like Journalism, and you look at like what he did in the Preakness and the way he got through that madness in Gosger being so far out in front. And then you look at the race that he just ran, in the Haskell, and he didn't look like he was far back there, and he let the horses get loose on front and they put up soft fractions and he still ran them down again. So, I mean, he looks super impressive, and Sovereignty runs by him every time like he's doing nothing. So that horse is just super impressive.
Yeah, I mean, you saw how Journalism, right, was closing. You see how the closing kick, and then for Sovereignty just to outkick that horse twice is unbelievable.
Absolutely. So Keith, why don't you tell me what you think in this one, and we'll start walking through it here a little bit.
This is a tough race. Wow. I thought that, I know it's 5 minutes. Suppose I know it's your race. I'm looking at a couple horses. I'm not on the three. I've looked pretty hard on the three. I like the six, Dylan's Dream. This horse was in a 4-horse field last time and faced some pretty tough horses. Now, it was a 4-horse field, 1 mile on the dirt. This horse actually finished third, beat a horse that was, won even money. And I just think that this horse was kind of saved for this spot. Even finish and comes right back. And I think this horse could get a nice trip. Let's look and see if there was any no workouts recently for Dylan's Dream, but some caught my eye with this kind of be coming back. Hasn't raced before the race I'm talking about. June 6th was the race before that. Has raced very consistently. I mean, I know that was a 4-horse field, won 3 starts ago at Evangeline. And this is a horse that just kind of doesn't really need the lead. He just kind of closes, nice closing kick, was actually rank and still won the race 3 back. So I think Dylan's Dream, if this horse could get a nice trip and, kind of save ground a little bit, I think this horse could run very well. And, you might have to tell me about those Tomlinson figures in the slot, but I like the 6 on top. I was originally against the 1, but the slop, I think, moves up the 1. And if you look at the form, last time 1, let's pull up a Crawfish Burl. What a name. Look at this. Just actually had a note on this horse here. Let's see. 8 starts this year, 2 wins, 2 seconds. And the race 2 back at Evangeline for the number 1 horse. Let me pull up this chart here. Actually was a sloppy sealed track and won. Never threatened, just kind of wired the field. I think the 1 post going to try to do the same thing. It's just hard, right, to take 3-2 on top. I think the slop actually moves up the number 1. And I was trying to find the 7. I thought it was at least a price horse that you could maybe use underneath. Has fought back in a lot of efforts. The 7, it's kind of overtaken on the stretch, but doesn't throw in the towel. I like those horses that can just at least kind of stick around for the money. 13-1 currently on the 7, She Badger. Sign me up for that. I'm trying to see if I can fade the Tim Thornton horse a little bit. Now, Bella Carmelina, let me see. I had a note on this horse as well. Let's see if I had this here. But yeah, I'm going to stick with those. I think that the sloppy track kind of changes things a little bit. And I'm going to go with a nice 6-1-7 in order. Those are the 3 horses I like.
All right. So I went in a slightly different direction. The 4 Bella Carmina is the one that I took on top. And I just think that this horse moves forward on the wet track, has not had a race in the wet stuff yet, but has a couple of decent races coming in out of the last 2. If you look in the last one, you can look and say that she was beaten by a couple in here, but just in front of her was the 3 Tutu Tourist. I don't think she's gonna like she's gonna like the wet going here. So I kind of dropped her down a little bit. She may show some early speed, but I don't think that she'll take to the wet track as much. I think the 4 moves forward in the wet and the 3 moves backwards. So I had the 4 on top. Then I actually went to the outside, the 7 She Badger. That was my second pick. This is one that I think is going to get the trip in here. This one is one that kind of likes to sit just off the pace, which is kind of what we saw a little bit in the last race. So if she can get a good trip all the way around, I think she's got a good chance of closing up in the stretch, which is what she will probably be doing, closing late. Then I had a hard time with the 1 and 3. You could go 1 and 3, 3rd and 4th, or 3 and 1, 3rd and 4th. But I think they're both more underneath plays for me. I love that right now. The 1 is 7-5 because I don't think the 1 wins this race. I just really don't. Not at those odds, especially. I'm going to fade a little bit more. Yes, this horse 2 back in the slop. That number looks pretty good here. But we got to repeat, and speed did not hold in the last race. So that was at this level. You can look at the last race and say the horse didn't run as well, but that was a completely different level, right? And that was a fast track, and we're back on the wet stuff. And this horse is 3 for 3 in the money on a wet track with 1 win and 2/3. So definitely one to keep in consideration underneath. But I'm going to play against a little bit. I'm going to play a 4 with 7 with the 1-3 here. We'll make our official bet. You could also back that up with a 4 with a 1-3 with the 7, but it's kind of like, or we might even key the 4 on top and take our chances of getting home Bella Carmina. And I really like that horse here. So
Okay.
Horses are on the track and warming up, and she's a solid second choice in here at 9-5, and she may end up even being your post time favorite. But I like her a lot more than the 1 Crawfish Burt.
No, I agree. I would rather take the 4. I mean, for that price, I don't want the 1 at all at 7-5. I think the bettors are probably getting a little carried away with that win 2 back on the sloppy track just because of the conditions of the track tonight. All right. I was looking at I was looking at your 4 for Tim Thornton. I mean, this horse actually originally, debuted at Delaware and then ran in some pretty tough maiden claiming races at Gulfstream, and then went back to Delaware and then got to the Louisiana circuit, as you mentioned, and then broke the maiden at Delta, and then comes back and wins at the claiming level. So proved that can win at the extra level. I just didn't know what to do with the slop, and you think that this the slop moves this horse up? That's good.
So just some comments here from Rob. He said would be 2-1 heads up unless Sovereignty ran horrible and journalism dominated. And I think he's answering Trusty's question here, who was talking about this scenario about horse of the year based on some different scenarios, with maybe journalism coming back and winning the Pacific Classic and the BC Classic, and Sovereignty getting beat in that one. So that would be tough. Yeah, and Rob makes a good point. I mean, Sovereignty would still have beaten him twice from a heads up.
Would you hold the grade 1 wins heavier than the horse beating him twice? Or it's kind of tough, right? Because journalism would have more grade. To me,
when you're comparing 2 horses, I think you got to look at heads up numbers. But I also really agree with Rob's point, and that's what I was saying earlier, was that I think this classic is going to be a really strong addition. I mean, we've got some really good older horses this year with Mind Frame and Fierceness and White Barrio coming back, and I just think that that's a big ask for these 3-year-olds. Yes, these are 2 talented ones, but man, they've not faced the likes of that.
Yes, Sierra Leone, the returning champion, and dare I say, would you get a price on Forever Young? You might be the spot.
Keith, we talked too long and didn't get our bet off. So
see,
I had to get back in my groove here. So
that's why the 3-year-old crop is a good crop. But good luck, however everybody bet it. Rob, right here.
Yeah, Crawfish Burrow has about a half-length lead over Dylan's Dream. It's another 2 length back to 2-2 Tourist on the rail. She Badger comes outside that one in 4th. That's another 3 back to the 4, currently sitting in 5th, and far back to the 2 at this point. Up front, though, Crawfish Burrow takes him through the quarter, 23.90 seconds. Dylan's Dream is sitting outside that one, a half length back. The 2 from the back of the pack, here we go again, starting to get in gear and eat up ground. But up front, Crawfish Burrow, the half, 48 flat. Crawfish Burrow starts to pull away a little bit. 2-2 Tourist starts to get in gear in between horses. Dylan's Dream starting to fade a little bit. She Badger trying to make up ground. And from the outside, here comes Bella Carmina starting with her move as we head to the top of the stretch. Crawfish Burrow up front, Bella
Oh,
Carmina from the outside, Two Tourists down on the inside. It is those three horses as we hit the top of the stretch, and I lose my feed just in time. But here we go. Down inside, that's Two Tourists. Outside, that is Bella Carmina. It is going to be these two coming to the wire. That is Bella Carmina outside, Two Tourists inside. World of Hurt at 12-1 is going to get up for third. It is 4, 3, and 2. We went 3, 4, 5 in the last one, 4, 3, 2 in this one.
Not sure if you would have hit that one, but yeah, it was your 4 is on top and great handicapping.
I was trying to at the last second. I didn't want to cut you off, but I was trying to say I'm just going to bet a 4-3 exacta, but
shit.
Okay, no, it's okay. We got it. And Trusty got the trifecta with the 2 underneath. The underneath play. That's why I say after those 2 horses, there were a lot of horses that behind those kind of competed. I was a little surprised that She Badger didn't make a little bit of a late run there. That's one that I thought definitely could have been running late, and that one didn't really factor. Was kind of off the pace early in the race, and then just really faded badly late.
Great call on the 1. It was the 1, no excuse, right? Just the horse had things their own way, and then just kind of folded and left the rail open. And that means that was a horse that was tiring down the stretch.
4, 3, 2, and 6.
All right.
4 was much the best in that race at 2-1.
You could argue that was a good price. Yeah.
My top pick.
Well done, Tim.
Well, we didn't get the bet off. I'm not letting that happen again. We got to focus on the race at hand, and I'm going to get off the Triple Crown talk that everybody wants to talk right now, and the Classic and the Triple Crown runners and everybody else. But we will move on to the next race after this one goes official. We still got lots more. I'll take the next one, Keith, so that we can get things back into gear here.
Sounds like a plan, my friend. Yeah.
That
daily double was $9.
$6.80 is not horrible. $4 and $3.60. $5 and $3.60 for Two Tourist, and World of Hurt $4.40. Good payouts with your favorite off the board.
I'm gonna put a tweet out that I'm on the show, so try to get some viewers, and appreciate everybody in the chat, interacting and putting your plays. And like Tim just said, the night's young.
Lots of racing left. We got 6 more races.
Right. Okay. Yeah, race 3 is going to be 7 furlongs, obviously on the dirt with this condition. And we'll be talking about these runners. And the morning line favorite is the current favorite.
Yeah, and that one looks pretty strong, to be honest.
Yep.
So in race 3, we are on the dirt, 7 furlongs. We've got a $7,500 claiming race for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 races. Kind of a theme that we've seen so far.
Let's see.
We've had all the girls' races so far. So.
That's right. It's sometimes when you're a horse racing personality, you hear that on TV, like, I meant, she, not he, but it's hard to keep up with all the conditions when you have so many races. But yeah, it's gonna be a good night of racing here.
Yeah, I think they've got a pretty good card tonight. This next race, unlike that one where I thought I had a horse that we could beat the favorite with and did, I think the favorite's tough in here.
All right, let's see. Yeah. There is a price here that I like underneath, at least. Yeah.
Still got a lot of racing, Keith. Maybe we'll get somebody else from the Prophets to join us later tonight. Okay,
cool. Yeah, no, thank you so much for having me back, Tim. I remember I was on the 100th episode, this celebration of the Cocktail Lounge, and I believe, wow, we're up to I don't know what number you guys are up to now. Incredible stuff.
Like 138.
Crazy. Wow.
Sweat, no bet. Welcome in.
Here it is.
I thought I had a good pick in that race, but if Dennis hit it, it must have been pretty easy.
Here it is. Trying to see another horse here I'm looking at. Okay.
I wonder how Sean did today. I haven't heard too much from him, so I know he's up with his dad and having a good time and enjoying it.
Oh, he's actually I thought he was just traveling today. He was actually at Saratoga betting today.
I would think so. I mean, I thought they were headed up this morning, so.
Cool. Yeah, I really I wanted to try to get there this summer. I know the summer still they at least have a month and a week left on their meet. Got to try to figure out if I'm going to get up there. Man, summer feels like it's flying by right now. That's for sure.
Yeah, it definitely does. And I was doing the same. I was looking to actually try to get up there this weekend for the Jim Dandy. And now I'm looking, Travers, but I just absolutely refuse to pay, some of the costs that they're asking for some of the rooms up there. You look at the rooms other days and, those big days, they just like hammer you. And I just, there's a difference in being able to afford to pay it and being able to justify paying it. And it's just like, I don't want to pay that kind of money to go up for a couple of days. And it's just craziness.
I was thinking, Tim,
closer like you and could drive in a day or something, I would probably do it. But, it's at least 2 long days of driving for me. And at this point of the summer, not really feeling like doing it. So.
Right. You got to be up for it. And like you mentioned, I thought about doing at least a day trip just to get there. Right. I'm about like 3 hours away from the spa.
Yeah. I think I'm just going to sit back and probably wait and plan for, the Keeneland meet in the fall and make sure I hit that one up. And then definitely next year, the Breeders' Cup comes to Keeneland. So next year I am really looking forward to it because it's been a while. So I am going to the Breeders' Cup next year.
Oh, okay. Great stuff. I forgot about it. So this is Del Mar and then Keeneland and then the new Belmont after that.
Right. After that, it'll be Belmont.
Cool. Good stuff.
Definitely is.
Trying to see about some of these other prices here at Evangeline. 13 minutes to post race 3.
Timmy Thornton with the ride on the 4 in the last race. And he's up on your favorite number 3 Ground Control in this one for Brett Calhoun.
To Major Tom. Yeah. That's when I was handicapping this horse, I was kind of singing that song.
I kept saying that. Yeah. It's been crazy. Lost Ozzy this week, and
Oh man,
I, I
crazy
think
week.
I think that guy kind of knew where he was at and everything. The way that they threw that last concert together and everything, and all the things he did to be able to perform in that concert. I think it was like his swan song. He kind of knew the writing was on the wall, I think, but big loss for music.
Prince of Darkness, yeah. It was did you see any on YouTube? I was watching that final the curtain call of Black Sabbath with Ozzy. It was well done how they put it together. Crazy. It was only 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. I think that he kind of knew where he was at.
Yeah, I mean it's just they say it comes in threes, unfortunately, with these deaths. Yeah, it's been a crazy stretch.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan this week, Malathot just brought up. I don't know if you saw, obviously Malcolm Jamal Warner died in a swimming accident earlier this week. And then today we lost another musician, Chuck Mangione.
Oh, wow.
The trumpet player. I'm sure everybody remembers the big Chuck Mangione song. I would play it, except for we would get copyrighted again.
You don't want to. You were on with me, right, when we were on like 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning, playing Tom Petty and Prince with "As My Guitar Gently Weeps." Yeah,
yeah. And a couple weeks ago, they copyrighted us in the lounge.
Oh wow!
Or in Tuesday Night Lights, excuse me. And we actually have an agreement with them and the rights to be able to show their broadcast. And we were showing their broadcast, and in the last race, they play that hamster song,
right?
And I'm pretty sure that that's what got us copyrighted.
Oh, but you played it so many times, just in the background of okay. So it was just
for whatever reason that particular day. I mean, I guess. They picked it up, and it's just craziness.
Okay.
But anyway, Keith, what are you thinking here? I don't want to go too long, and then we got 9 minutes.
About the hamster song? Yeah, I know. I actually think it's on my Spotify, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's let's talk about these horses for Evangeline Race 3. Man, I was trying to make a decision because you don't want to use too many. This is your race, obviously. I think that Ground Control is just, third place, 2 back, second place, even money. Kind of burned some chalk, though. That would be the only concern for me. But the 1-2 back was on turf. And then it looks like back to, I think, the preferred surface, the slop. I don't mind it at all. You got the top rider in Tim Thornton on Ground Control. I think he's going to do just that. I think he's going to control the race and dictate things. I mean, this horse came from the turf at fairgrounds as well. It just looks like a versatile horse that can just make his own trip. I think Ground Control is going to be tough. I'll give you a price, though. I think Bikini Bottom, the 4, I was impressed with the win last time. I know it was against Lesser, but I like how this horse came home. It looks like it was an inside bid and then just won. It didn't need the lead and kind of just took over in the stretch and won. And one at 3-1. I think it's a horse at least to use underneath with the 3. So I'm on 3-4, and I'm not on the 1. I know I thought I was gonna see maybe if the slop was gonna move up the 1. I just don't see it. I just think it's for that price gonna be a play against for me. So just 3-4. I'm gonna be just personally just boxing those 2 horses, but want to hear your opinion. I looked at the 7 briefly. If it can get back to those form of the win 2 back. This horse actually came from Naira, so it kind of turned my head a little bit, but I just think the last race was a little suspect. So I'm going to be going with a 3-4 here.
Yeah, we'll talk about that one in a second, but I do think the 3 is really going to be really tough in here. Ground Control getting Tim Thornton up on the ride. Obviously, I don't like the odds that we're getting, but this one's 2 for 2 on a wet track as well. So we know that she's going to like the wet going, and Brett Calhoun trained when when these two hook up, they hit at about 30%. So I think this is a legitimate favorite in here, and the one at the distance, 3 for 4 at in Evangeline, 3 for 4 and 1 for 2 at the distance. But 7 furlongs is probably, I think, if you look at like the 2-mile races to where the horse was fading a little bit, I think 7's actually the perfect distance for this horse. So I like the 3 a lot in here. Then I did go to the 7 outside, Selectively Sweet. And this is one, when you look, this horse has been going shorter. Does have the 1 race at a mile, but that was an optional claimer at Aqueduct. And, this is not that race. Since coming to Evangeline, this horse has been 5, 5.5, and 6.5. I think 7 might even like the added ground if you look at that 6.5 performance, this horse was closing up pretty strong and looked really good. Just really drew off in that race, and it is going to be probably sitting a little further back. The horses are closing pretty well today, so I think this one's got a big chance. I'm not sure that the best effort is enough to beat the 3, and that's why I still have the 3 on top. But I do like the 7 a lot. Bikini Bottom, the 4 is my 3rd pick. This is 1 second off a layoff. Really, that last race, for coming straight off the layoff, that was a really good race. This is another one that really doesn't have a race over the wet going, but the Thomason numbers are okay, and this one should be okay in the wet track. And I think that the off the pace form of that last race sets up perfectly for how it seems like the track is playing today. So
Right.
I think Bikini Bottom's got a big shot in here. So 3, 7, and 4 for me. And your numbers again, Keith?
3 and 4. Those, I'm just gonna stick with those 2.
It's the 3, 4. Got it. All right. What you like in the chat, let us know. I haven't seen a whole lot of comments about. So here's the formulas picks in race 3. He is 3, 4, 1, 7. So let's take a look at the 1 Beamer here. This is one that kind of caught my attention a little bit because of the wet track numbers here. 2 races on the wet going. One. There's a lot of different things when it's wet going. Here's the difference. You look at the 2 races. One was wet fast and the other was good. So they consider both of those wet. Right. I kind of wish that, even though, wet fast to me should just still be fast. And even though it's wet, I guess you got to consider it wet because it's in the name. It's literally in the name, but to me, sloppy and muddy, it's like, how you going to handle the slop? So that was the question for me with this one. Definitely has the numbers to be there. But the thing for me is from the inside. And now this one's kind of stepping up a little bit. That last race dropped down to get that win at 6.5. And now if you look at the races, the 2 back, although it was on the turf at this level, was a little bit further back. The numbers weren't quite as good. Just facing non-winners at 2 for 2 races after a maiden. This one's it's like this horse is stepping up quite a bit. So I was against the one a little bit here for those reasons. Non-winners at 3 is a really big step forward. This horse in 3 races has gone from a maiden to non-winners at 2 to non-winners at 3. So really climbing up the ladder, although the numbers look pretty good overall, but definitely climbing up. What's up, Jenny Mac? Hadn't said hello. Each and Every Stride in the chat. What's up, Each and Every Stride?
Who is that guy? Yeah, I just tweeted out that I'm on the show, so thank you so much for having me. I love the thumbnail. The logo too is really good. Is that the first week you guys are using this? That's cool. Graphic stuff. No, I agree with what you said, Tim, about it's a Bikini Bottom. This is a horse that I think fits the profile of the track, the way it's running, that you could be off the pace and close. I just think that the 3 is going to dominate. I'm actually going to go with a 3 for Ice Cold Exacta. So I'm going to play.
All right. James White's playing an exacta key 3 with the 5-6. And then Bobby D is 1-3 with the 7-6. Bob Jackson 1-3-6 are his top 3. Hadn't talked about the 6.
All right, let's look.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the distance, the thing about the distance in here is that this horse is 4 for 4. Horses raced 7 furlongs 4 times. The last 3 being here at Evangeline, all since April, and has a first, a second, and a third. And then the horse early on went 7 furlongs at Ellis and won that one. So has 2 wins, a second and a third. Yeah, definitely a long shot, but interesting. That's why I brought it up. Probably more an underneath play. The numbers, probably have this one more underneath some of these other horses, stepping up a little bit here, but proven at the distance. We'll see what she can do. Catalina Cruiser out of a Pleasantly Perfect mare.
It's I look at the comment. I didn't get to watch this replay, but broke in, set pressured pace, dropped back, drifted out. Seemed like a pretty troubled trip. I know it was only 6 horses. Gets to regroup, gets over a month to kind of rebound from that race. So I really couldn't blame you, at least for the 6 as an underneath play. I just maybe not on top, but currently getting some action. I know it's one scratch kind of changed it a little bit, but 8-1 on the 6. Be interesting to see how the 6 and the 7 run. We kind of skipped over the number 5, the Big Bomb Dreamy Deal. Wins a pretty easy race at the claiming level 2 back. It just hasn't really showed anything at this, a little tougher field competition. Just didn't really run a step last race. Any thoughts on the 1? I don't know if I missed that. This is a horse I kind of went back and forth on, but ended up just fading.
On the 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went through that one a little bit. That was the one that I was talking about. That I just think in a really short period of time, she went from a maiden 10,000 winner. She went non-winners at 2 life on the turf, and then comes back non-winners at 2 at the 5,000, and now she's non-winners at 3 life at a 7,500 level. It's just like that's a couple of really big steps up the ladder. So in a short period of time. So the numbers say that, if you look straight off the speed figures of the last race, could be in contention. But I just kind of think that it's a big step forward, and it's a kind of a play against angle for me based on that. And with that being said, Keith, I'm gonna go ahead and get this in. So let's
get this play in. Yep.
All right, we're going to play a $2 trifecta key. We're going to key the 3 on top with 4, 6, 7. I'm going to key the 3 with the 4, 6, and 7.
Cool.
It's a $12 play.
I like that. So I might tail that actually, because we covered those horses. We gave them long shot looks, so could really crash this try.
So playing against the 1 in this position at 4-1 is your current. Now 7-2 is your second favorite.
Yeah, I'm going to tail this Trust the Prophets try, and I'm also going to go with the 3-4 Ice Cold Exacta, currently paying 5-1.
Rick Alford playing the exact same thing. 3 with the 4, 6, 7. Love it. Good luck to everyone. Rex is going with the 4 here at Evangeline.
right. Yeah, I like that closing kick on the 4. All right. Moving along, this card is even with the delay, they're going to be getting into the gate here for race 3.
Yeah, they run a pretty tight show down there. It seems. I like playing Evangeline every time we've had the opportunity to go down there and do the cocktail lounge. We've done pretty well down there. Unlike Saratoga, where I just can't figure that place out.
Yeah, I just haven't really had a good grip on this meet. I had a nice win place winner, but other than that, I just haven't really bet that much, honestly, at Saratoga. It's probably my least Saratoga meet I've bet in a long time.
I don't ever play Naira. big race days for the most part, and every now and then, like jumping in here for one race and playing the last race, or something like that.
Right. How about those win bets where the CAWs get locked out, Tim? Maybe you can play that. Seen enough chatter of that on Twitter.
Get me started. Get me started.
All right. Well, it's gonna be a good race.
Yeah, that was an okay pick. I would have liked that horse to do a little bit better. I played Stable Duel as well yesterday. I threw some money in my account after talking to you guys after you were played a Cinnaboy on Tuesday night, but it was good. And the big thing is that I did not want to spend the money. I wouldn't have spent the money for that big favorite, and a good thing that you didn't, because as you just mentioned, they beat the heavy favorite. So that would have been money wasted. So I thought it was a decent play. I think the horse I would have liked to seen the horse do better, but it was definitely not a horrible pick for the day. That's for sure. But yeah, I'm gonna try to find some tracks, Mike, to play and be competitive against you. I can't do well at Saratoga. I suck up there. Great break for the 7. Wow, that horse just came out of the gate like a shot. And the 6 actually did the opposite, although now has kind of rallied a little bit. Those outside horses have early lead with the Selectively Sweet, a nose in front of Dreamy Deal down on the inside. On the outside, that's Chattanooga Crew. Those 3 have about 3 lengths over ground control back and forth. The 1 horse is coming up outside that one in 5th, and the 4 currently trails the field. Quarter 23 flat. And Selectively Sweet between horses puts a nose in front at 10-1. Inside, that's Dreamy Deal, just about a neck back. It's about a half length to the 6 Chattanooga Crew. Those 3 up front. Beamer starting to get in gear from the outside. Our 3 horses still sitting right there and starting.
We got Birds on the track.
Is asking for more. Here comes the 1 on the outside. That's the one we don't want there. We get the 3 is looking for room between horses as they hit the top of the stretch. Here comes the 3, but the 1 with them, Beamer looks to be much the best here. Puts a nose in front. 3 is fighting back, but Beamer just seems to have a little bit in the tank. 3 still coming. He's coming back on the inside. Here she comes. It's going to be close, but it's going to be Beamer by about a half length over the 3. Further back, it's going to be Selectively Sweet, far back in 3rd.
All right, interesting. It's a horse that I kind of went back and forth on, and won at 1-5 last time, and trip didn't matter. This horse, showed the best, beat the 2-5 favorite. Wow.
Yeah, I was playing against that horse, but shame on me. But this horse just keeps climbing up the ladder and keeps winning.
Wow, that was a 17-1 exacta right there for a buck. Yeah, that was a good ride by Emmanuel too. I thought Tim Thornton was patient behind these runners and just got the seam, but I think the 1 got the jump.
Yeah.
What do you think? The 7 broke beautifully, but couldn't clear the field. That was the issue. And I knew that the 7 was going to tire on the outside.
Yeah, I mean, you look behind the 1, you got 376. We had all of that, but we did not have the top horse, Beamer.
I could have swore, Malathot does say that about the geese. Yeah, it was kind of jockeys kind of going a little easier into that turn or the end of that turn, and it was a bunch of birds right there.
Yeah, it looks like that maybe it impacted somebody a little bit, but obviously nothing that affects results from a wagering perspective. But
Stewart's inquiry,
but you never know. And I mean, you never know whether it actually impacted a horse. Not that it'll affect anything. 13, $4 and $2.80 for Beamer. Ground control 210 and 210 as your odds on favor. Selectively sweet 380 to show. We were right about 3 and 7. Just I couldn't get to Beamer.
All right, Tim, I'm just gonna get a quick refill, and then we got at least half this card left, so we're gonna get a big casher soon.
Oh yeah, we as you know, we always say it only takes one, right?
That's right.
It
Appreciate everybody sticking with us. Yeah, we got a lot of racing left. I'll be right back one moment.
Sure, no problem.
Thanks.
All right, did anybody cash there? The 5 freaked out. Nothing. It made the 3. Yeah, it looked like a couple of horses may have been impacted a little bit by the birds, but obviously from a wagering perspective, I'm not saying that they should do anything about it, but it could have impacted something there. But overall, I don't think it was going to change the results. So 1 was much the best and had the outside position despite the birds and was definitely the best in that race. She's a heck of a filly. In 4 races, she's gone from maiden winner to non-winners of 2 life winner to non-winners of 3 life winner now. Yep, Joseph, no contest. Give me my money back. Refund. And if Evangeline won't give you your money back, Dennis Trusty, based on that big trifecta he hit earlier in the night, he is going to refund anyone that sends him a refund request. Yep. You know it, Joseph. Turn the page. We got 5 races left. Lots of time. It only takes 1. And coming up, we're 6.5 furlongs on the dirt. Optional claimer for accredited Louisiana bred 3-year-olds and up, which have started for a claiming price of $5,000 and less, or a claiming price of $10,000. We get to see the boys this time. It's been all the girls racing so far, so bring on the boys. The boys are back in town. And to comment on all the geese talk that Dennis says there's no geese in Louisiana, they're seagulls or pelicans. We're going to scratch Father Goose in this race. Scratch Father Goose. You can't write a better storyline than that.
Oh, cool. I didn't know I could just bring myself back in like that. There you go.
Did you hear me, Keith?
I did. Yeah, it was no pun intended, no goose intended.
In this race, we're scratching Father Goose.
Gotta see this. Can't make that up. Yeah, it officially, there you go. Scratched.
So we've got a field of 7 here, going 6.5 on the dirt in the slop.
See my picks. Yeah, my picks got a little altered. I should have probably been more firm on knowing that they were going to be on dirt and the slop for everything. But yeah, I'm pulling up my picks right now. Ooh, wow, big price.
Yeah, Malathon, it's craziness. I'm telling you, the late Oaks start. If you guys did not see the news, starting with the Oaks next year, basically they're going to show it in prime time on network TV. So it's going to back it up to a late start. It's going to most likely be under the lights, and to me that's like an 8 o'clock start. This day is long enough. Those 2 days of racing are just like it's crazy how long they are. Now they probably won't start as early as they have because they've tried to finish a little bit sooner. But if they're now trying to take the Oaks into prime time, maybe they go back to like a regular 1 o'clock start. But that's just a really long day.
Wow.
Really long day.
We've seen that, Tim. Yeah, the fact that the premier race of the day is probably like what 6 hours into a card or something like that, maybe a little less than that. But I've been at Saratoga like when people were leaving before. Trying to think what race it was. The Whitney was one of the last races. The crowd wasn't as packed as it was.
I don't understand why tracks think that has the feature has to be like the next to the last race or something, which is typical. And I love the way, okay, nobody hit record on your devices right now, because I'm going to say something you almost never hear me say. I love the fact that California tracks, maybe the only thing I love that they do, that a lot of times they put their feature in the middle. Now they do that because of the time here on the East Coast, but I just think it's crazy. Yes, Dennis. So obviously with the time change, it'll be the last race in that scenario. But I'm saying right now, most tracks put the feature as the next to the last race, and it just makes it. I don't know. I think it makes it a long day. And a lot of the people that, you can say what you want about whether or not it keeps people, because I don't think it does, especially the non-horse enthusiast crowd, the people that are just out for the party, they're going to leave. I think you want them there for the big race. You want the crowd there for the big race. So why let some of your crowd leave?
Interesting.
I don't know. Just a thought. Keith? Redbeard wants to know, is it shot time?
Oh yeah, maybe I'll try to kill this bottle. I had a bottle for my show that Tim came on. I did some pretty good damage to that. So like what they always say, you want to kill a bottle tonight, then that's it. Maybe I'll do that in a little bit. Shout out to you, Redbeard.
Yeah,
I missed a Razor coming on the show last week, as you were saying, right?
I like, I like different, Dennis, but I don't like that different. That's not the different I want. And yes, I thought this was great news today. Gabby is leaving FanDuel, and she is going to be the full-time director of communications at Keeneland. I think it's a great hire for Keeneland. You guys know how much I love that place. It's my hometown track. That's where I grew up. It's where I learned and started playing the game. And I absolutely love the racing there and the racing community and all of the people there. But, Gabby has been there for a while, and she seems like a wonderful person. I don't know her personally, but I think this is going to be great for her and Keeneland. But here's the thing. I don't know if you guys saw the piece that she did that was posted online, that she did with Andy Biancon today online. And she said something that actually makes a lot of sense. She's a mother, right? When do all the big races take place, Keith?
On the days that
what day of the week?
Days that they're busy on Saturdays.
Exactly. So in this industry, if that's your job, you work every weekend. And it's just like, I have total respect for her, and to make a decision for her family. And I just thought it was great. And she's going to be great in that role. And that doesn't mean she won't be there some weekends and everything, but I don't think her role is probably going to require that she be out there necessarily as a director of communications. I don't know. I might be wrong about that, but still, I love that she made a decision for family, and, family first.
I'm so happy for her. And I actually met her last time I was at Keeneland. She was, working for FanDuel, TV at the time. Just a sweet person, just would talk to you, and, just very sweet and very knowledgeable. So a great hire for Keeneland. And she's, she started actually when I was getting to horse racing with Naira. She was with Naira and then went to FanDuel. So Gabby's very talented, knows a lot about the game, and has good picks too. She actually could really good handicapper, but with her new role, I guess, because I know that she was doing in the simulcast with Scott Hazelton. She was actually there, but I think this is a totally different role, being a director of communications.
She's the director of communications for Keeneland. What her role before was, for her company, and now she works for the track. But Keith, the horses are arriving the paddock. We're 9 minutes to post, and they're just getting there. So this is probably going to go fast. So let's just go ahead and go through this. Right now, we have a huge favorite here, and that is the one horse. The one horse is currently sitting on the board at 3-5 off a 9-5 morning line. And look, I'm with Malathot. So where did Malathot say this?
Let's look
here. All right, here we go. If the one doesn't win here, I'm done for the evening. and I'm with you, Malathot. I think the one is much the best here. I mean, from a speed figure alone perspective, it just kind of towers over the field. The only one even close is my second pick, and that's the 6 Wise Anchor. Getting Melancon up. This is one. I thought the interesting thing here was this horse sat just off the pace 3 back at 6 furlongs, then comes back and goes gate to wire from the outside. And then, now goes back in 5.5 and sits off the pace again and comes late and just misses to, the one horse who is much the best here and looks much the best. But now we're getting the extra half furlong over what this one's run 2 out of the last 3. But I don't think it puts the 6 in contention with the 1 that much. I just think the 1 is much the best. You look 2 back, the horse goes 7 furlongs, a little longer, and wins for fun in an allowance race by 11 1/4 lengths. So 1-6 for me, I think it's a really solid exacta. Underneath that, you can get creative and try to make a case for some horses. And, we've only got 3 in here at a long price with the 2, the 3, and the 5. And I really struggled to make a case for anybody other than the 4. So I think it's pretty, chalky up top, 1 at 1 and 6 for me. And then the 4 was my third pick. I wanted to find value here underneath and throw one of those other 3 in there, and I just couldn't get there. I like that McMahon stays aboard this one. This will be his 3rd ride. They won last time out, closing in a 7 furlong race. This is another one that I think is going to be closing. But this one's getting better. Keith, we talk about this a lot. Look at the last 3 races, 56, 62, 74. So buyer speed figures keep moving forward. Each of the last 3 races here at Evangeline. So we'll still need to move forward quite a bit to compete with these other 2. But I think he does move forward here enough for a solid 3rd place finish. So I feel really solid. It's almost like, to me, it's almost like ice cold try territory, to where I feel like 1-6-4. But what'd you think?
Tough. I mean, I think the 1's going to be really tough to beat. I just from like you said, the speed figures. And let's pull up some stats here. Yeah, I mean, going for 4 straight wins. And, these speed figures, like you said, just tower over this field. The 1 post, not a problem. You actually come back with a workout on July 17th last week. Yeah, I like that, just to kind of 5 furlongs. keep this horse intact. And I think the one's a standout to win. Now, I was going to try to get creative and, put a horse underneath. I'm going to make a case for the 2. I think the 2 could come closing and, at a price. So let's talk about why. It's Drew Mazing. And I had a stat here on this horse. I'll get that here. Then I like the number 4, as you mentioned, Northern Reflection. But let's talk about Drew Mazing. Now I'm going to make an excuse, right? I'm going to make an excuse for a 22-1 shot in this field, is that this horse did stumble and was no menace, kind of failed to menace, right? Shout out to our friend Matt. But I just think that this is a local barn. I actually follow these connections on Instagram. Both jockey and trainer are married to each other. I think if you look back at this horse, listen, 8th and 7th, the last 2. If you look at before that, I mean, this horse was 2nd and faced a pretty tough starter allowance company. I'm kind of going with the premise that this horse could get a better start, close and kick. And as you mentioned, Northern Reflection, the 4. I think this horse is going to, with the way the track is playing, could really run into the money. So I'm on 1, 2, 4. I just didn't want to see about the Ice Cold Try. Does make sense though. Wise Anchor. I think that this horse has just been running lights out, just a step below the 1. So it could be like a 1, 6, 2, 4. Gonna have to see how I'm gonna play it right now.
Yeah, sure. We got a little time. We always like to take a look when they hit the track, which they are right now. So they're in the post parade. There's Wise Anchor right there. Ooh. Bet the gray on a rainy day. Isn't that what they say?
I was betting those grays last night and they didn't run a step, but this is the rainy day and the mud.
And there's the 7. So there's your field. We missed the post parade, but they're on the track. 4 minutes to post here for the 4th race at Evangeline. Track is sloppy. We're off the turf.
Actually pulled up this 7 on an old tab. I want to see what I had here. Yeah, with the 7 had a nice win too back at Delta. This lack of early speed is a little bit of concern. I know it's a shorter field, but outside post, want to be up close in this kind of track, right? Kind of sloppy track. So I don't know. 7 could come on late for a piece. I just think the break is not going to be great for the 7.
The thing that I really like here, Keith, is that when you're looking, and I talked about this on your show over the weekend when we were looking at the big race, and we were trying to figure out how you find value with journalism being 3 to 5, right? So we talked about that a couple of times, and in that particular race, we're like, okay, I love the horse, the 3 horse in the race prior to that, and I did the double and got 3 to 1. On a 3 to 5, you know what I mean? So sometimes you got to look at doubles and exactas to get your value out of a horse like the 1 horse who I think is a huge favorite in here. And if we look at this race, as I said, I think 1-6 is pretty solid here. So I would expect the exacta to be pretty low, but I look at the exacta right now and it's paying 5 to 1.
Interesting.
So to me, I think that's a huge price for those 2 horses. Now, that's if you like those 2 horses, obviously, but I think that's a good price. And you don't have to box in this case. You don't have to box in this case because, I love the 1 and now it just clicked up and it's paying 5.5 to 1. So even more reason to like it. But when you look at the will pays and you go and you look at the will pays here, the interesting thing is in the double, you've got the 1 on top. And then after that, you've got the 6 as the second favorite. And then you look at the pick 3 and you've got the 1 on top and you've got the 6 as a solid second favorite. And that's why, everything just kind of points to this exacta. Obviously, right. That's why we run the races and it doesn't always come out the way it comes out on paper. But I'm just saying that everything kind of points to where this is the way it's going to play out. And I just think that right now that exacta is paying pretty well.
Are you concerned it's going to drop though, right? To like 4 or
It,
3?
it could at the last minute,
Yeah.
drop way down. But I've been watching it for a little bit here. There's 5,000 in the exacta pool, and it just clicked under 5-1 for the first time for 490 to 1.
Okay, well, I'm gonna see. Is it my race or your race to
It's
bet
you.
this one?
It's you.
Oh, okay. We got 0 minutes to post. They are taking a little bit extra, but it looks like horses are gonna be
Yeah, we need to get it in.
circling. Yeah. I'm trying to see. I don't want to include 2 trucks underneath. That's what I don't want to do.
They're
Oh,
heading towards the gate, Keith.
all right. I'm gonna go with a bet on the fly.
Hit
Let's
it.
go with it because I think the 7 actually looked okay underneath. So the horse looks good on the track. I'm not going to include Northern Reflection just from a betting standpoint. So I'm going to go with a straight exacta. The one's got to win, so it's going to be 1 over 2, 6, 7. I'll play that for a we'll go with a $4 base. Why not for $12? So it's going to be 1 over 2, 6, 7 exacta. So worst case, if the 6 does win, probably just win your money back kind of scenario. But the other 2, I think, have a lot of shot. See, the 4 is actually taking some money now.
The 1-6 is actually floated back up. It's still paying 580 to 1.
All right, I got that covered in our play. There you go.
Yeah, the 1-2 is paying 20 to 1, and the 1-7 is paying 10 to 1. I'll take that 12 out of our bankroll here in a second.
All right, good. Yeah, it says the worst possible is on my bet right here is $22 on that. Cool. All right. It doesn't look like they're really getting any more rain right now. You think there's any chance that this track could kind of dry out? I mean, that picture looks good with the sun on it. That's the only reason why I say that.
I don't know. I don't know how much it might dry out. It's always so humid down there and everything. I think the track, it's been raining so much. I think the track's just got a lot of moisture in it. So.
I met at least one player that would play it like this, and then I faded I like the 4, but I faded this horse in my play for second. Then sometimes a horse player would turn around and play the 4 like separately on the side, but I just feel like you're kind of combining your bets. You're kind of covering the board a little too much, they say.
1-6 is still holding at a solid even 5 to 1 right now, paying $10 for 2.
Okay. I want to see this 2 shock the world and come in second. Well, good luck, everybody. Let's check. Definitely hit that like button on the video on the show here, the Cocktail Lounge. Like, the horses are going to be getting into the gate. Let's check how many likes we got. Always look. 17 likes. Let's get us to 30 or something at least.
Yeah, we got 35 people watching on YouTube, 100 total watching. So give us a like and a subscribe. Follow along, please. It helps us out. Helps us be able to do these live broadcasts. And we are off. Pretty good even start from the middle. It looks like the 6 has got early speed just inside that one, the 5 and down on the rail. There's your 1 favorite. Gonna put a nose in front. The 2 is currently in 4th. It's 4 lengths back to the 3, currently sitting in 5th, and another 2 to the 4 inside, and that's the 7 all the way on the outside. Astrology's protege leads by about a length, a quarter, 22.14 seconds up on the outside. That is the 6 horse that is currently sitting in second. It's those two. And here comes your 2 moving into third as we head to the half fraction should be coming up here. The 1 still leads by about a half length. It's Astrology's Protege and Wise Anchor. These 2 up front. Drew's Amazing is back in third. The 7 starting to get into gear. It's these 2 up front. The 1 still has a lead down on the inside. The 4 starting to make up ground. The 6 looks to be tarring a little bit from the outside. It's going to be these 3. The 4 is looking to lead inside. The 1 is still right there. The 7 coming with late speed on the outside, and the 7 just pushes on by. The 6 even gets a nose up for second. That's Wise Anchor for second. Astrology's Protege drops back to third. San Juan Hill, 7.
Yeah, that's the horse I included. I just kind of talked myself. It didn't matter the break in the end, just the way the track.
Dennis Trusty, Exacta Key Box, 7 with the 1-6.
Ooh, well done.
And the 7-6, the 1 drops out. So the 7-6 comes in. And the Exacta is paying for $2.69.60, Dennis.
Oh, man. Can't believe the 1 dropped anchor like that. We've kind of seen that now. It's the second time.
I'm telling you, it's
actually 3 favorites. 3 top favorites have lost.
The speed is not holding. Malathot, you're done for the night. Get out.
Look we had a 2-5 go down. Now we have a 3-5 that went down, and then the 7-5 lost earlier.
Yep.
So 3 chalks in a row lost.
Now we'll bet against a chalk in the next race,
and then they'll win.
That's the way it works, isn't it?
Next race is not as many horses. Yeah.
Oh.
You know, my 2
funny game.
Where this 2 finished. I think the 2 finished 5th. Okay.
Yeah, I thought we were looking pretty good, and you know the crazy thing is without the 1 with the 1 holding on there, and the 7 out, I played exactly what I said I was going to play. I played the 1-6 Exacta, and I played a 1-6-4 ice cold trifecta, and it's just like, oh, not to be. Was not to be. Malathot, get out. You're done for the night.
Tough game, yeah. Well, that's why we race them. Wow, that's crazy to see those big favorites lose, and then it's going to be probably another big heavy favorite next race.
Well, you know, and that's, if you remember, that's exactly what I said was that's the way it looked on paper, but that's why they run the races. San Juan Hill, 19, 780, and 320. Wise Anchor pays 420 and 240, and your favorite pays 220 to show. Ooh. Crazy goings on in the slop at Evangeline tonight.
Is that with Evangeline, I guess 220 to show? I know the Mountain and Charlestown, they actually pay 220 on a 1-9 to show. I guess maybe there was an extra 10 cents there. I have to look into that. You ever put a bet like that ever in, Tim? Show plunge, huge $100 show bet. I did it one time.
No,
$100, and the horse came in third, barely.
I have not.
It was the worst experience ever. It was actually a quarter horse race too. It was at the Mountain. Horse was 1-9, hopped up at the gate, and still somehow got third, but lost 1-9.
Exactly.
I was like, oh no. I was like, my $100 is gone instantly, but it didn't matter. Luckily, the horse was good enough to get third. All right. This race 5.
So the final order of finish for race 4, 7-6-1-4. 8-1 over 2-1 over 3-5. The trifecta paid $50.60 for 50 cents. A $1 Exacta was $34.80. The double into the 7 paid $99. If you had the 1 in the previous race and the 7 there, 99 for a buck.
Damn. Good horizontal payouts for sure.
Yeah, the horizontals are looking interesting. So we'll see what the will pays are here. So the pick 5 is paying $1,200, $1,500, $3,000, and $4,500.
Ooh, nice payday.
That's a 50 cent, remember?
Yeah.
And then the 50 cent pick 4 is paying $300, $250, $360, and $620.
Man, on a Thursday night, that's what I love horse racing is you can get these pools, even the will pays if you're right. And it seemed kind of like a night where some of these favorites could win, but like I mentioned, 3 heavy favorites have lost in a row.
Yep, it's been crazy so far. And now we've got a big 4-horse race here.
Yeah, it was just this was a tough race for me.
2, 5, and 7 are out. The 2, 5, and 7 are scratched. And again, this was scheduled to be on the turf. We're off turf today with all the rain, obviously. And once again, Keith, we've got an MTO of the 7 scratches out.
To see why. There was no reason for that in the announcements. Let's see. Usually they say no reason given, right? Yeah. I'm trying to see. It's interesting because, these 4 horses, there's multiple horses that have won in the slop. Even in the last couple of races, it's, I think you could really make a case for almost any horse to win this one and the next one.
After this one, though, we've still got 3 decent races left. So
Right.
plenty of bankroll to turn things around. So, Keith, did you see the Curlin Stakes today at Saratoga?
I did not. Let me pull that up here. It was a busy day for me, but let's look. Did you bet it?
I did not. Chancer McPatrick.
Oh, yeah. So he won. It was actually featured as one of the top 3-year-olds when this all first started, this cycle.
Right. So the question is now, do they maybe consider running in the Travers?
You almost think it's funny, Tim, because you almost think like this horse is older than a 3-year-old. And,
right.
Just to have that option is interesting. It's his hometown track. And like I said, this was a horse that was really hyped up. It was kind of like Barnes and all these horses in the beginning. This was one of the top ones in the will pays for the Kentucky Derby future pool. Things did not go as planned this year, but the fact that he gets this big win, as you mentioned in the Curlin, could get some big value. What do you think of his chances with the Travers?
I don't think he's competitive with the better 3-year-olds right now, but I mean, who shows up for that race? Let's see the field and go from there. I mean, to me, that's what you have to think about.
I think it's, the Jim Dandy, if I say, God forbid, that Sovereignty loses the race, it could change slightly. So maybe another horse or 2 could enter the Travers, see maybe if he's a little bit more exposed. But it's going to be tough. I have a little opinion in the Jim Dandy. I think Hill Road is a pretty honest horse that could be a little overlooked too. Probably just a notch below, like you said, these top horses.
I just want to see Magnitude come in.
I know you did.
I just really, and because as much as I'm not predicting he wins, I want to see him in a big field against the bigger 3-year-olds that have been running the year and see where he's at and see what he looks like. And I just think he might be better than people are giving him credit for.
The one where he had the mind blowing effort there, before the injury, it was that you showed the horse was just a speedball that just keeps going. So it looked like he, obviously, like you mentioned, faced much less competition in Iowa. I think the horse could move forward, and it's still actually, you think about it, he had the injury with the sidelines, but has less races in his arsenal, so maybe he's going to be fresher moving forward with that cycle.
Yeah, I mean, you go back and you look at all the preps and the way he won the Risen Star, but right as the injury happened and everything. But when he put up the speed figures and then did that and then came back off of the long break, we got to remember he was off from February to July, and then comes back and runs a better speed figure off a long layoff. And forget the field. Let's just look at what he did. He came back and ran better. And I just think that that's super impressive. If he moves forward, we always talk about second off a layoff and horses moving forward off of that. Does he move forward off of that figure? Wow. I mean, does that not make him competitive with any 3-year-old in the country? That's
crazy.
That's why it's fun to talk about and why we love this game. And I'm not saying he beats Sovereignty if the two of them faced off, but I just want to see them face off.
Be cool, right? Just to have that. Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned, Magnitude's been stationed at Saratoga since that big comeback win, so it's going to be interesting with Asmussen and see what he does.
All right, let's turn the page. Race 5 coming up. We are off the turf, 5 furlong, optional claimer, 20,000. This is for Louisiana bred fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 2 races other than maiden claiming our starter, or which haven't won 3 in a claiming price of 20.
Oof, a lot of conditions, right, for a 4-horse field.
Yeah, and I mean, just looking at these horses, the resumes are just kind of contrasting, because you've got the 1, 8 lifetime starts, 5 in the money. The 3 has 23 lifetime starts and a decent 13 out of 23 in the money. 10 wins, by the way, 10 wins and 23 starts for the 3. And then you have the 4, who has 5 starts, 5 in the money, 2 wins, 2 seconds, and a third. And then the 6 is the old timer in here, 6-year-old with 30 lifetime starts and 18 in the money, 7, 6, and 5. So you've got more experienced and less experienced. You got 2 6-year-olds, a 3-year-old, and a 4-year-old.
Yeah, it's I'm just kind of, I know it, I believe it's your race. I just trying to even say who my top pick is. I'm trying to come up with the angle here. Let's look.
But I think it's funny the way that I picked this, and I'll talk about it in a second when it's my turn to talk here. But just because of what's been going on. So,
all right. Well, we got 7 minutes to post, and it's I lean towards the 3 in this one to get the job done. I mean, now just click to the favorite. Thanks for watching the show. I guess I'm moving the needle. Is the 3-horse 8-5 for Tim Thornton. Going to be looking to get some revenge, right, for that last race. It's a horse that was 8th place on the turf. I think the dirt is the preferred surface for the 3. Wins at even money, 2 back. And this is kind of a sprinter. There are horses that are cutting back in distance in this race. I think this is kind of a good distance, 5 furlongs for the 3. So that's Lovely Red Stilettos. It's going to be my top pick. I'm a little worried of the Fairgrounds horse, the other chalk. It has some good races at Fairgrounds. Those were, second place on the turf. Wins a nice allowance at the Fairgrounds. That was a longer distance, though. That was 6 furlongs. So we're cutting back an extra furlong. I thought the 6 was, the Elder Statesman, as you mentioned, 30th career start. I prefer the 1, obviously, over the 6, because the 1 won in the slop last time. Won't be my top pick, though, because that was 6.5 furlongs. I'm not sure. This horse has not run really well at 5 furlongs. One's more of a second choice for me. I'm on the 3 to win, and that would probably just how I would play it, just 3 win bet.
You don't like any of the other horses at all?
On the win end, it's tough for me.
No, I'm not saying to win. Just what your thoughts on the other horses, though.
Yeah, no, I was just mentioning. I just think that in order, it would probably be a 3, 4, 1, 6. I think that the 1 is not going to get the same trip as last time, shorter distance, and just hasn't run well at the shorter distance. So I think it's down to the 3 and the 4 for me. I just the 4 has never really run at Evangeline as well, so it's a different track. So all those considered, I'm on the 3. It sounds like you probably have a different opinion.
I actually do, and it's not because of anything you said, obviously, but it's just even the way that I handicapped it, and that's why I said it was going to be funny because of everything that's gone on tonight. So let's talk through that here as I take a quick look at the paddock. I thought maybe they were heading out and wanted to take a look here, but show's 5 minutes and we still don't have riders up yet. But anyway, so really quickly. The thing that I looked at when I handicapped the race, and I was kind of playing, trying to find a pace angle here because we all know pace makes a race. It always does. And the one thing that we've noticed so far is it looks like that speed isn't holding very well and the track is playing to closers, right? So let's look at what we've got. The 3 horse as your favorite. I think this horse wants to be on the front end, right? Lots of speed, lots of 1s on the program there, especially you look 3 back at that slop race, 1s all the way to the end, just beaten at the wire. Then you look at the 4, okay, last race, lots of 1s up front, forwardly placed, but maybe setting just off. Then you go to the outside. There's a little bit of both. Depending on the races and everything. But if you go back to that slop race again, 4 back, forwardly placed with, second 1. And then you go to the 1. And this one has lots of 3s on the front end. And I think the 1 gets the trip in here. I think Incognito Burrito with Melancon up is going to get the trip. These 2 fire at 26% overall. You're going to have lots of speed. The favorites have been fading. The speed has been fading. The 3 and the 4 are both under 2 to 1. The 1 is 2 to 1. I mean, it's a 4-horse race. We're not going to get any crazy prices, but give me the 1 at 2 to 1 over the 8 to 5 and the 9 to 5. And it's not like the 6 is a huge long shot. The 6 is 7 to 2. Again, it's a 4-horse race, but real quick, just because we have to, and we haven't done it a lot tonight, we are Riders up! Just love to hear them say Riders up. But we're on the track post parade. There's a 1 Incognito Burrito. 3 is your 8 to 5 favorite. Lovely red stilettos. Keith's favorite shoe. The number.
Yeah, go ahead.
The number. I actually. Dennis Trusty's favorite shoe. La Nina Dorada, the Golden Girl.
Oh, 4 look good.
6 horse. Whoop Car. 3 to 1.
Tim, I felt like this maybe could be the race. I know the track's playing to the off. Like there's unbelievable last all those heavy favorites going down. This could be the race that I think could be like a merry-go-round, 5 furlongs, just kind of speed holds this race. That's what I'm predicting. But it's the 1 with the cutback. I get the angle. It could get the trip.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm looking at is I think the 3 and the 4 might kind of hook up on the front end, and they're both 9 to 5, 2 to 1, so they're both in that ballpark. The 1 is kind of dropped down a little bit to 3 to 1, and all of a sudden the 6 goes from your longest price in the field to co-favorite at 9 to 5. I mean, it's just great. It's craziness here. We're at 9 to 5, 9 to 5, 2 to 1, 3 to 1.
You think somebody probably dropped a monster win bet, right? Let's see.
So when you're looking at all of the pools, I wouldn't say monster because there's not a ton of money. There's only 5,000 in the pool, but everybody is just over 1,000, 1,000, 1,500, 1,300, and 1,200.
Somebody just honestly, Tim, I think somebody just moved it by dropping a couple hundred on the 6.
It doesn't take a lot, right? It just doesn't. Yeah, we should be 5
100.
furlongs. So we were scheduled for 5 furlongs. So we should on the turf. So we should be 5 furlongs on the dirt.
I think this is your race, right?
Yes.
4-horse race.
Yeah, I got the super nailed.
Are they even offering it? Is the question. Oh yeah, I think they are.
You know, the crazy thing is it's on my wagering menu, but I just think that that's throwing money away.
Right. I think that it's like, even if the heavy, the 5-1 wins, it's not going to pay.
Did I say 2 turns? If I did, I misspoke. I did not mean to say 2 turns.
Okay. It's pretty good purse though. $36,000 for the allowance optional claiming. Wow, the 6 is 9-5, like you were just saying. I mean, there's no way this 6 could be the favorite.
Well, it's just like I was saying. I think the one and the 6. Oh, you're talking about Chancellor McPatrick. Okay.
No.
Got it. You confused me for a second.
But Chancellor McPatrick's the best 3-year-old in the country. No, I'm just joking. You never know, though. I mean, this horse had a huge promise in the beginning.
He did. I mean, a lot of people thought highly of him early on. I know that when we were doing our top 10 and top 5 videos, that a lot of the prophets had him pretty highly rated early in the 3-year-old preps. But
yeah, I remember the race at Tampa Bay Downs in his comeback. I thought that set him up nicely, but I believe he just did not fire that race after.
Now I remember what you're talking about, Ethan. About a month ago, we and I said that he was. Yes, I did say that. Now I remember. I thought you were saying I just said about something that when I was talking about this race, you confused me for a second. All right.
Right.
We need to get this one down. So
let's get a win here. Yeah.
I got a couple of minutes here. There you go. Let me take one look here at something.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's a 4-horse field. I thought the 4 actually looked excellent in the parade. But I would lean towards the 3, as I said in my. I think this could be the race that kind of just the speed 5 furlongs kind of just carries them the whole way. 3 puts away the 4, and then the 1 that gets second. That's how I say.
All right, Keith, let's put this in. Here is our play. We're going to play a $5 exacta one with 3-4-6. So we need the 1 to win. The 1 is the longest shot on the board. I love the 1 here. I think the 1's got a real chance. So we are going to play the 1 over the other 3 for $5.
All right, good stuff.
They're all paying decently. So $15 play.
Right. Loading in the gate right now, Tim.
Dennis is on the 4. Makes me like that one even less.
All right, I'm on the 3. So good luck, everybody. Ooh, look at this 6. Oh, they're off, Tim. You want me to call it?
Yeah. No, I'm Whoop car up front by about a length over the 3 horse right now. The 4 is another length back into third. The 1 currently trails the field. As we head to the far turn, the quarter was in 22-1. Whoop car's got about a half length. Lovely Red Stilettos is gaining on the outside. It's 2 lengths back to La Nina Dorada. Incognito Burrito tips to the outside and starts to get into gear. It is up front. Whoop car still holding that lead. The 1 is starting to tip to the outside.
Come on, 1.
Coming with momentum. Get that 1 going. The 6 Whoop car is up front. Here comes the 1. Got a lot of momentum, but he's got work to do. It's going to be too little, too late. It's going to be 6 with the 1. 6, 1, 4, and 3. The 3 finishes dead last. 4 and 3 dead last. But it's just crazy, isn't it? The 6-5 favorite is the 3 last. How many times have we seen that tonight?
Unbelievable. And then, I mean, the horse, the 1 made this huge move, but it was the 6th, the 30th start for this horse wins at 3-1.
Yep. The 6-year-old with the most races and the most experience.
It was almost like a re-break there for that horse too. I thought the 6 was going to throw in the towel.
I do actually agree with Dennis. I think the 1 was best in the race. It's just like he didn't get the trip, was a little bit far back, had to move from inside to outside, moved kind of out twice, made like a double move there, but too little, too late.
All right, we'll get one here. It's that really wasn't the race we wanted either. 4-horse field.
No, it was just trying to catch something in that particular race. And the interesting thing was that the 1 actually went off as the 2nd favorite. when I bet it, it was the longest shot in the field. They were also close on the tote in a 4-horse race. So.
Extra half furlong, probably not even that. The 1 wins.
Yeah, maybe the 6 was kind of, coasting at the end a little bit too.
Yep.
That's all right.
That's all right. We got the late
3 more.
Right
we got 3 more. We'll get there.
Oh, it's as you said, I mean, it's going quick. It feels like they are running a very tight ship, just kind of after the delay too. Hats off to Evangeline Downs. Let's see how many. Definitely hit the thumbs up button here in the cocktail lounge. Let's check how many likes we got for you, Tim.
Let's see.
24.
Only
Let's get to. I said get to 30, and then we'll maybe I'll have a drink. Yeah.
There is your winner in the winner circle, number 6. CJ McMahon getting his picture taken. On board Whoopka. Whoop car.
What's crazy, Tim, is, I mean, like you just mentioned, I mean, the doubles, this horse was 4th, the worst, the best payout for the double was 80-1. So the fact that this horse won, wow.
Yeah, the horizontals have been crazy tonight because look at that pick 5, $4,500 for 50 cents. Even the pick 4 was $685. That was
made every favorite.
Payout in the horizontals was the 6. But it was like favorites in every race, odds on favorites, just like the 3 in here, and every one of them finished off the board.
And I mean, I know the horse, the 6 held on and won. It was kept on going. You could argue that the track is still playing for off the pace, though. Obviously the 1 horse made that big move.
Yeah, I do want to check this out again as he was coming into the stretch because the birds are still right there. They need to do something about the birds right there at the top of the stretch because they seem to affect a couple of the horses here.
Have to factor that into my handicapping next time. Yeah.
Let's see. This horse wants to make his move right where the birds are, so he's a fade. But if you're looking, I mean, look at the one right here. The 6 basically goes gate to wire, which nobody else has done tonight. But the
There's
one
the
6
bear.
out here, there's the geese. And now it gets behind the 3 and has to tip out again, goes all the way outside. Just starts to get into stride, and it was just too little too late, even though the fractions were pretty good. The one should have been able to make up a little bit more room. I just don't think he got going enough in time.
Right. Yeah, just got the motor going a little too well. Yeah, very close finish, actually. Yep. There we go.
Turn the page, Keith.
We still got, we got a lot of time, 15 minutes. So for sure, let me, definitely hit that thumbs up button here on the cocktail lounge. And, once we get to 30, we'll do a cheers. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. I was saying, because Tim joined me on my channel, the Each and Every Stride YouTube. So definitely give me a subscribe on there. I appreciate that support. But I'm going to be going to Keeneland in October. I'm planning on going for the first opening weekend of the fall meet, and be meeting up with Tim, and whoever's in town in Lexington. Definitely hit us up. It's going to be a good time. There's always some top class horses, especially the turf racing. It sets up so well with the Breeders' Cup too. I'm actually just going to get a quick beer here. I never got that one before. I'll be right back 1 second. Then we got the late pick 3, Tim.
Although we don't play horizontal, so. But the late pick 3 is coming up. All right, what's going on in the lounge? Anybody looking forward to any of the racing this weekend, other than the big one, of course? What do you guys think? What's going on? Where's everybody playing? Obviously, to me, you've got one race which is big, and I'm sure the card will be decent, but I struggle to play Saratoga, so I might give Ellis a look this weekend. Probably Woodbine for sure. I think Woodbine's an underrated track. I like Woodbine. Can't wait. Won't be too much longer, and we'll be back to Woodbine on Thursday nights here in the cocktail lounge when they go back after the Kings played and they move their card back on Thursday evenings. Yeah, Dennis, I get it. When you're under the weather, makes it tough. But summer racing is starting to get into gear. The Haskell always kind of kicks it off. You get the Haskell and then the Jim Dandy, and then everybody starts looking forward to the Travers, and then you're thinking, Pacific Classic, Whitney, and then before you know it, it's Breeders' Cup time. So good time of the year for sure. Oh, that's right, Mike. I remember seeing you post on X that you were headed to Vegas. Good luck out there. Have some fun. Win some money. Hit a big jackpot. Video poker. Hit a big one.
Oh, sounds good. Yeah, good luck. I heard you talking about summer racing. It's a great time of year still for horse racing. And, the Haskell was a great race. I know you were on for me on my show. It was a very good race. Journalism is a, unbelievable champion 3-year-old. I could argue the other 2 horses ran very well. Gosker, he's a very honest horse.
That was a great card. I thought there were a lot of good races on the card.
Yeah, it was crazy. I'm still stunned that those two horses won. Great call with Fierce and Strong. That the two horses from the Penn Mile Day. I went to Penn Mile Day a few weeks before. That was a good angle. Let's look here.
But hopefully things are back to normal tomorrow at Colonial. And
Right.
of course, Thistledown hasn't been running. Have you seen some of the pictures on X with like what some of the rocks that some of the jockeys picked up on the track?
How is that even possible? I think there was an emergent. I don't want to say anything. It was like some kind of emergency meeting about it too. Yeah.
Has to be. I mean, that kind of thing could cause some serious accidents.
Man,
but yeah,
that was scary to see that.
A lot of good racing, it looks like, this weekend. I was trying to see what was at Ellis Park this weekend because
okay. Have you been betting? I honestly haven't really been betting much Ellis so far when the meets start. Have you played the races a lot?
I haven't played a lot of horses at all, other than what we've done here, on the channel over the last couple of weeks, because I've had a lot going on and I've been really busy. But I don't see any big graded stakes at Ellis. Some allowance races, lots of maiden races. Nothing big this weekend. They got 4 on the turf.
Okay.
They got the $3 all turf pick 3, which I love that wager.
Oh, that's cool. And that's what's the minimum on that? $3, right?
Yes. So it's a $3 base, which is what makes it so good, because you can't spread as much for, like the 20-cent wagers like a lot of people do, and 50-cent wagers. The payouts are normally pretty good in there. And it's pretty interesting because the first turf race is a 2-year-old baby dash, 5.5 furlongs on the turf. And then you've got a mile race after that for 3-year-olds on the turf. And then they finish up with another mile allowance for 3-year-olds. So you got 3-year-olds for the boys, and then for the fillies.
Those races are great. I mean, the baby races.
I love baby races.
That. Yep.
I love the baby dashes. And in this particular one, I was looking really quickly, only 3 horses out of a 12-horse field have race experience.
Oh, man.
A lot of first-time starters.
That just screams pet. You got to look at the pedigree. You got to look at the workouts. You got to see behind the gate workouts. You mentioned, Tim, on some of your angles, you don't like to see what behind the gate workout, like right before, like the workout before the horse debuts. Is that kind of a thing?
Yeah, I don't like to see one right before. Hopefully they're not doing gate work right before, and then I hate to, when there's multiples of it and you see people,
that's the
multiple gate workouts, and maybe they're trying to still get their gate card if it's a baby, and maybe you can give them a little bit of a pass. But when you got the multiple gate workouts, they may be having trouble. But here's an example that in this baby race, the number 1, you got a gate workout on 4 July, then a gate workout on 12 July, but then they come back on the 19th and just have a normal 4 furlong workout. So that's not too bad.
I mean, this is a horse that I've looked at a little bit. It's American Guy. I mean, it's out of Star Guitar. And, if you're playing, with, Hulk Hogan passing away today, is American Guy. You could play this horse on a hunch. But I think that, listen, last couple of races obviously hasn't run a step, and just actually ran in the slop too, a couple back at Fairgrounds. It just still didn't show anything. Those are some tough main special weight races though at Fairgrounds. Interesting horse. And I hinted at it before, Tim, is that American Guy, and then there's another horse in this race, two geldings announced as geldings in this race. So
Right.
you could actually, I don't know, maybe kind of use that as an angle. Do with it you will, right? I kind of prefer the other gelding personally.
Always looking at angles, but I kind of like that angle. The first time gelding. I always look to see since the last race and since the gelding if they've got a work. Because to me, I think you want to see something there. Like if you look at the 7 as an example, there's a work on 3 July. So it was probably gelded before that, after the last race, sometime after the last race, and then has a work. And then you look at the 1 and, it's been since March. So definitely has works, but
Okay.
and what I'm looking for is it drastically different? Is there a different pattern from before? Does it look like anything's changed?
Yeah, then we got the two logical choices that are going to vie for favoritism. But yeah, what do we got? We got only 5 minutes left. Wow.
Yeah. Probably like 7, but yes.
And then I am kind of skipping over He's the Bomb too, who ran a good third place at 16-1 last time, but that was on the turf. So different ball game on the dirt. And last time at this distance, similar distance, 5 furlongs, just 8th place. I will not be using the 4, so yeah. But yeah, you convinced me on a horse, Tim. That's it. That's what they say.
When I was looking at this one, always looking for angles and trying to find things, and then looking at experience and obviously handicapping for wet. And you look at this, and it's a maiden race, so you don't really have a lot of experience. You have a couple of horses that have raced on it. Neither one of them did anything. That you can't count on that being a lot with maidens. So nothing that really stands out that can help us from that perspective. So we got to go with everything else. And I mean, if you're just looking at past performances, I think the 3 is a little bit of a standout here. So the 3, that's a priority kind of, to me looks the best on paper for sure. Does have the stalking profile that I would like to see in this race. So that was my top pick in here. And then my second pick was all the way on the outside, the 7, Give Me a Try. The first time gelding. And, it's kind of interesting that they did that between June and now. So that's not a huge time frame like it was with the other one that we looked at. But hopefully that kind of fixes whatever it was that they were looking with here. And maybe the horse is using up a little bit too much energy, leading up to the race, and now can concentrate more and be ready to go in the race. So that was my second pick. And then for my third pick, I will give you one that's probably the one that's going to end up being the second favorite, I thought, to the 3, and that was the 6 horse. So yeah, pretty chalky. I think it's a pretty chalky sequence, but I was 3-7-6. What's up, Razor?
What's up, Razor? What's going on, my man? Cheers. So yeah, we got to get to 30 likes and take a shot. So cheers, Razor, for joining. And yeah, we got a couple of minutes to post, so I'm gonna give you my play. But see, I know the 3 is been looking at this 3, especially the race 2 back. I like, but yeah, we need 4 more likes to have a nice toast here and a drink.
I think it's crazy right now that the lowest exact is 7.6, 10.60. The 6.7 is the exact same. So 6.7, 7.6 are both paying that. I love the 3, and the 3.6 is $14, but the 3.7, which is the way I've got it, is $23.20.
See, I like the 7, but I don't like the 7 as the favorite, right? So yeah, that's
and that's why I've got the 7 underneath. I don't have the 7 on top, and and I even thought that the 6 I thought I was picking the horse that wasn't going to be the second favorite in second position by picking the 7. And, now the betting has changed that a little bit, but it might straighten out because the 3 is now on top and the 6 and the 7 are pretty close. So it still might end up being 3, 6, 7 on the board, but
tough one to bet, right? It's because I could see almost the 6 getting a trip. I mean, the horse ran last in the turf throughout race. The 2 ago was second, and bumped at the start. Actually had a legit excuse. The 6 and settled and came on and had a strong rally. Seems like a horse that doesn't really need the lead. Could actually just sit right off at a 5.5 furlong distance. I like the 6. I think the 6 could get a nice trip. I'm not willing to take the 7 at 2-1. You mentioned about the first time gelding. Like the workout recently on the 7, but I more of a second choice for me. And then dare I say I was interested in the 1 just because of the gelding angle. The slop, I don't like this horse with the slop though, but they had to geld this horse, right? I mean, ran in fairgrounds, didn't do well. I think the 3, as you mentioned, is going to be a horse to factor as I cover all of them, but we're 0 minutes to post. I got to put in a play.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, let's look how we're going to get paid in this one. We've covered basically every horse. Yeah, I mentioned the 4 before also. Going to be a tough one to get paid. I'm looking at the exacta probables right now, and you're getting a juicy 7-1 both ways with the 3 and the 6. That's how I'm going to play it. I'm going to play 3-6 exacta box. I'm going to actually box both of them. We can get at least 7, 6-1. No, it's a chalkier kind of race. I'm going to box both of them, and let's go with a $5 base. So that'll be a $10 play. I'm just going to go with the 3-6 exacta box here. I like the 3's dirt race 2 back, as I mentioned. I think that's really competitive.
I like it. I definitely like it.
Got to do something like that, right? The first time geldings, I don't know. I'm interested to see what the 1 does. That's all I got to say. And then the 6 actually just clicked to the favorite. They're 8-5 choices right now. Probably just an extra $100 on the 6.
Irene needs a 6 for the pick 4. Let's see. Dennis likes a 6 here. 4 horses to win, 3, 4, 6, and 7. Bobby D is playing an exacta box 6, 3, 7. Kind of looks like those 3 horses. I would agree.
And the 7's hanging around at 9-5. So it's though I agree. Those are kind of like the 3.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's only 2 other horses in here, but I don't like the 1 or the 4 very much at all.
Hey, maybe this is the kind of race you can double your money and just kind of move on, right? Yeah.
Take it and move. Take it and run. Horses are headed to the gate.
In the 7's debut, he did bump and still came in second. And then they ended up gelding the horse. So that was, you think gelded before that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Keith, you want to answer Mr. Bias here? So, Keith streamed for Razor on Thursday and in the network, but quit, and now here, so is out on the network on loan to profits. Just wondering when the guy break out for his own channel.
Well, I like to support everybody that I come on stream with. I did not quit any show with Razor. I support that guy.
No.
And so, I mean, it's just been, with my schedule and just the way the summer goes, I haven't been on in about 2 weeks, but support Razor and support Trust the Profits. And you can subscribe to my channel if you like each and every stride on YouTube. So appreciate the engagement. And yeah, just, I've been doing the stream thing for a couple years now with everybody and just trying to be supportive and cash some tickets as they're going to be off here at Evangeline and the 1's off slow.
Yeah, the 1 definitely missed the break from the inside. The 3 is going to show early speed, takes a peek between the legs, and the 4 is a half length back in second. In between horses, the 6 is going to be 3 wide, a length behind the 1 up on the rail in fourth, and another length and a half back to the 7 trail in the field. That's a priority. Got about a 2-length lead on He's the Bomb 2. American Guy moves up into second from third on the rail. Leo Bobana is back in fourth, and it's still the 7 trail in the field. The 1 American Guy, as we head to the top of the stretch, picks up. That's a priority. Here come the late closers. The 7 tips from last. The 1 puts a nose in front right now as we head into the stretch. The 3 is still right there. The others have work to do to catch them right now. The 1 horse, wow, unbelievable, American Guy, brings them home.
Wow, that was the move.
Gelded. I mean, you look at that horse, and it's like that horse has the worst looking PPs in the field. It's crazy.
It's been that kind of night, Tim. I mean, just we've seen some kind of wacky results, and you know, the 6 horse ended up going off as a favorite. The 3 at 5-2. I mean, I would have signed up at that price, but had to settle for second for American Guy. I kind of had a little bit of a hunch because of Hulk Hogan passing away today. American Guy gets it done at 8-1. Wish I went with my instinct on that. Yeah.
1, 3, 6, 7. It's been a crazy night, Keith, to say the least.
I appreciate it.
It has been.
Thank you so much. I see everybody's. Thank you so much for the support. I thank you, Irene, for subscribing to my channel. And Dan, I would agree with that assessment. I am a journeyman streamer. It's nice to interact with people that have the same passion and as you.
Yeah, one thing about it is you guys saw Razor check in here a little bit earlier. and I think to your point, Mr. Bias, that you were talking about, Keith's been on Razor's stream. Razor pops in our stream. Keith's here on our stream. Keith actually had a stream over the weekend, and I was on his stream. And, it's a community. It's a community of guys who just do this for fun. We're not doing it because we get paid. We do it because we love the community. We love the game. We try to make money. We would love to make money every time, but nobody does that. I watched today a couple of the races that were at Saratoga, and I was watching the talking heads with their picks, and they weren't doing any better than we are right now. So yeah, it's just kind of funny like that sometime, but this is a game we love. And I think the community is one of the best parts of it. And I recommend you follow Keith and watch his streams, and you follow Razor and you watch his streams. And Razor would say the same thing on his show as he has about Trust the Prophets. We all
love
this game that we play.
That's it. Yeah, just kind of a wheel that goes around, and community. Yeah, I appreciate the support. There he is.
And the crazy thing is, it's like 2 years ago, I was in the chat on this channel, and I was just a guy in the chat, and I got invited to come on, and then, one thing led to another, and I became a regular contributor coming on and doing videos and putting out content and being on the live streams and making friends. All the guys have become really good friends, Keith included. It's like we've all been to the races together and hung out together, and and that's one of the best parts of it is getting out to the track and meeting people in person. It was just like back at the Keeneland meet in the spring. It was kind of funny because I was up there that particular day. My son was in visiting. My wife and I went up with my son and his girlfriend, and they all went to the restroom. And this guy comes walking out of the men's room there, and he's like, "Riders up!" And I was like, "Okay, and you are?" And it was Uncle Sully, and it was the first time that I had met Uncle Sully in person. But I just love that part of it, and the community, and people like Malathot that I've met and hung out with on the track, and so many other people that we've gotten the opportunity to meet and hang out with, and huge
Well said.
community. Love it. Love that part of it. And what to me, one of the great things about it is I've seen some of the other streams of some of the bigger channels, will say, and the interaction isn't there to me the way that we try to interact with you, and that's a big part of it, and part of the fun, because like if Keith wasn't on, I'd be sitting here in a room talking to myself, talking to the screen and talking to you, but at the same time it's just different because nobody's actually talking back, you're just chatting back. So but it's great. I absolutely love it. And Irene, love the chat. It's a great part of it. I really think that this is what makes these streams so great, is all of you guys. So
yeah, I mean, for any stream that just closes out the chat, I just don't understand. I mean, just it's not fun, and you want to engage, and I want to see your picks and why. So it's cool to see you guys all, and familiar names coming back. I appreciate all the questions too.
And it's crazy because I don't really know any of you, but I feel like I do. And I know the names, and oh, Irene's checking in. Hey Irene, how's it going? Or Bob Jackson's here, or whoever it is. And Dan, every time we stream, he's on, and so many of you. And then we get new people and they'll check in, and then all of a sudden the next week they're back on again and back on again. And I just think I love that part of it. And unfortunately, Dennis Trusty might regret, but if the 6 loses this race, I'll drive up to Tim and cough all over him. No, you won't. Ooh. You have no idea where I'm at.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. But yeah,
be careful, Dennis, because Malathot said something like that earlier, and he had to leave.
Yeah, it was one of those big favorite. The 2 to 5 favorite had to settle for second. We've seen how this track plays. I mean, horses that kind of need the lead, and just if they don't get their their way, then they're a fade for me tonight. We're gonna get one, and we got 2 races left.
Appreciate that, Gatekeeper. We try to make it fun. I mean, obviously we want to win money, but having fun and having a good time. And I'll tell you,
yeah, it's a cocktail lounge.
It is the cocktail lounge, and by the way, it's El Hombre's cocktail lounge. And if you see that,
where is he tonight? I thought he was coming in.
I thought he might drop by, but El Hombre's had a lot going on lately and everything in his personal life, and he's been away from it a little bit. But he's the one that this is basically his show, and he started it, and I can't wait for him to come back on a regular basis, because he brings a lot of fun to the show, and it's a good time when he's in here. So can't wait for him to get back.
Definitely an interesting time when El Hombre's in the lounge. His lounge. Exactly. No, he's great, people. I met him in person, just like Tim right here, and it was at Keeneland. We went to it was the spring meet last year, not this one. Yeah. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to the fall meet August 1st through 7th. I believe I'll be in Lexington. I'm gonna be making the trek and driving out there, Tim.
Yeah, I will definitely be there, so Keeneland's my place when it's open on a weekend or a weekday. If I'm not working, I am definitely going to be there. And it just so happens with the way I work and my schedule and what I do that, I end up being off like a week for spring break and a week for fall break. So no, he said October.
Oh, did I say that wrong? Okay.
Dennis is asking August ?
Oh, okay. Maybe I said August by accident. I did that one other time. It's all good.
Dennis, my grandfather used to live on the street behind the Red Mile. When I used to go to my grandfather's house, you could see the lights and the racing. I've been to Red Mile a lot. Back when the Red Mile was not what it is today, not that it's great.
No, I stopped there actually last year I was there. I plan on at least stopping by this time. Yeah, it's cool. It's definitely probably changed a lot through the years though.
Yeah, and the whole facility with all the slots and everything, that's new, and that wasn't there when I was growing up, obviously. But
They
yeah,
actually have a horse racing slot. Remember, I think I sent you the picture.
when Sean and I met up at Keeneland for the spring meet, because they were delayed, they pushed the Friday and Saturday races obviously to Monday and Tuesday because of all the flooding and the torrential rains that were going on for the spring meet. But we met, and on Saturday we went to Red Mile and did simulcasting, because the thing about Keeneland is they only do simulcasting during the live meet. The simulcasting, you have to go to the Red Mile.
Oh, so
But
they actually don't have it open when the races aren't live?
not for simulcasting.
Okay, interesting. Okay, because it's Keeneland. I get it. Yeah. So
I mean,
everybody goes to the Red Mile.
the
Yeah.
facilities are open, the gift shop is open and that kind of thing. You can go and walk around and tour and do those kinds of things. But no, the Red Mile is where you have to go for the simulcasting. And it's kind of fun. Sean and I had a good day. And of course, we, bet on tracks from across the country that day. But
Okay. Oh, you guys just set up shop and gambled all day? Okay.
that was it. We just got a table and played the horses all day together.
I wish they had like harness racing live after, like, because Saratoga has it and then Saratoga harness is right after, but it's going to be, I believe, off season because the Red Mile's running right now live. I actually just turned it on the other day and it was just a $58 winner out of nowhere, Red Mile. Gabe Pruitt is still the announcer too.
The crazy thing about the fall meet is that's when football is getting into to swing. At UK and being a big college town, a lot of Saturdays people will go to Keeneland during the day and to the football game at night. So make the round robin.
All right. Well, let's see how many minutes we have. 8 minutes for race 7. And we've seen a night of heavy favorites go down. And I've said it time and time again. I feel like this is the one that's going to win, but I'll probably say it again now on the number 6 Avery's Gem. But I'm not sure. I think, is this your race, Tim?
Yes.
All right, well, if you want me to talk about this horse.
Yes. Talk about all your horses you like in here, whatever.
Thank you for having me, my friend. Yeah, I like Avery's Gem as the public is showing 2-5. Wow, 2-5. This horse seems like a horse that doesn't need the lead. It ran a good race last time. I know was the favorite, burned the chalk. I just think that it's going to get a better ride. The jockey rides back, and the 6, has ran in 2 allowance races in a row, and this is the 3rd time at this level. Speed figures are going up and up for Avery's Gem. Ran an 88 equibase speed figure last time. So it just seems like a horse that's on the improve. Got to factor in the slop. But I think the 6 is going to be the winner. So I don't know. I'm just have to see how we're going to get paid. I mean, other than that, I thought the 1 at least ran good 2 back in the slop at Delta, won the race. That would be my price horse, I consider. Broke the maiden then, and then came back at the allowance level. Was bet that day 8-1. Not bad. Bet decently, and came in 3rd place. That was where that 3 came from. So the 1 is in 3rd place last time. A horse that is lightly raced, 4th career start. Imperial Dynasty. I like at least at a price underneath. So those are the 2 I kind of focused in on here. And then I did look at the number 5, Totally Addicted. Just a horse I throw out the last race at Evangeline. It was on the turf. Now you're going back to the dirt. This horse ran in the dirt at Fairgrounds. And now we got the slop, but ran 3rd and 4th in some tougher claiming races. So I like those 3 horses. I like the 6 as kind of a standout. I've said that with couple of those other trucks that burned, but I like the 6-1-5 here. Evangeline, race 7.
All right, it makes a lot of sense. I like all those horses. I even, kind of have the 5 as an underneath play. Basically, in my notes, could close up for a piece underneath in the try is basically the way that I see that horse's chance. Irene is saying that Jose Contreras likes the 8 here, so take a look
Okay.
at the H JL Pac-Man.
I looked at this horse.
Yeah, this is one 2 for 2 at the distance on turf, but when you look at the races on dirt, they're completely different. I mean, that's the thing to me. If you look at the 5 furlong races on turf, here they are: second, first, and
Right.
first. Look in between the 2 races in October of 24 at Delta Downs: 9th by 28 lengths, 8th by 29 lengths. So really different perspective. Even the last 2 have been rained off the turf. You see the X's there in the slop on the program, and 15 lengths and 9 lengths. So I can't get to the 8. I think it was Irene. I think it was probably when it was turf, and I like the horse a lot better on the turf, but definitely not here. But I am going to give you
I don't
one
think the
more.
8's going to get the lead. That's the problem.
I'm going to give you one more to talk about here. So I definitely thought that this was one that would get us a price, and it will. And that's the 10 Ocean Jackpot.
Okay.
And when you look at Ocean Jackpot here, I mean, look at that last race, 65 speed figure closing up. That was the best race the horse had run. But I think this horse is on the improve, and that one was off the turf that particular day, even though you see it was a fast track that day, it was off. This horse does have one horse on a wet track, and it was the very first race of his career, and that was 5 furlongs at Delta Downs in the mud, finished second that day by a neck. So I think this horse could like the wet going enough to be able to, based on the speed figure of that last race, this one could figure here. I don't think the horse competes with the 6 for the win. But at the same time, Keith, how many times have we seen 2 to 5 favorites tonight lose? And right now, this one's 1 to 2, lose and get beat. So the horses are coming out on the track. It shows 3 minutes, but yeah, they're definitely dragging a little bit tonight. They're just now getting out to the track. So I would say we probably have at least 5 that show 3 minutes, but they're showing them all headed out right now to the track. Jocks are still getting up on a couple of the last horses here. But yeah, I think this 10 is sneaky here a little bit. And what I just saw in the background here, as I was saying that, is they popped up Rob's picks, and he's got the 10 pick third. So I like,
you guys are matching
that
up tonight.
I like that even better, because I did not know that he had picked the 10 horse, because I had not seen his picks, and I don't know if his picks were showing his turf picks or what, but I do think the 10's got a shot in here. I really do.
What'd you think of this 3? Did you think of the 3? I've gone back and forth. That was the horse, had a good race 2 back. The 3 in the slop in that allowance came in third. Could kind of round back real quick. Had a lot of good races. Yeah.
Real quick before he leaves, I just want to say, hey, Paul, I didn't see that you had dropped in, but he said just dropped in to keep his streak going. Good night. Always glad to have you from across the pond, Paul. Come check us out next week and stay a little longer and bet with us.
There you go, Paul. Have a great rest of your day, I guess, because you're ahead of us. Yeah, I just thought the 3 at least was interesting a little bit.
I like that. And say that again, Keith. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I didn't want Paul to get off without me saying hello to him.
No,
but
not at all.
just for the community thing that we talked about there a little bit ago. But say what you said about the 3 again. I like that Timmy Thornton's getting up, and this one has shown speed in the past. So.
Right. I mean, it's going to be a horse I don't have on the win bet, but I think that the horse actually showed good form before the last race and ran good in the slop. And just before that, it just kind of feels like a little bit that this horse went off form, though, a little bit. So I would just say, yeah. Now, the more I look at it, right, you could be a handicapper. I'm doing this live. I could kind of talk myself into a horse, and then at the same time, I say what happened last race. But I just think that the slop angle from maybe two back, I just think the 6 is going to be tough, and the money showed up now. Wow, 1-5.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, I mean, I hadn't finished, going through the horses, but I the 6 on
Oh,
top, the
sorry.
10 is my second pick, the 3 is my third pick, and that's why I was asking that. And I just want to point this out real quick as well. Razor drops in and says he likes the 10. Razor, right before that, I was just talking about the 10. I like the 10 a lot in here. I think the 6 is tough. Looks like he can't be beat on paper, but we've seen these favorites go down a lot tonight, and I think the 10 might be the sneaky one to do it. And at the same time, Razor's like rooting on his sports picks, going home, going 2-0 for the day. Bring it home, cash it, Razor.
Got to cash those, athletic overs for sure.
And this, it's just like we were talking about a little bit ago, Razor. I don't know if you're still in here, but we were talking about the community here, and somebody was asking about Keith being on your show and my show and his show and not my show, but our show, and with Trust the Prophets, and we were talking about how it's just a community, and we all ready to jump into everybody else's stream and join in, and just that's a big part of it and why we do what we do.
It really is. I mean, it's a collective, supportive, streaming community too. So, and we want to be interactive with the chat. So that's we talked about some streams don't even interact with the chat. So it's something that's nice to have that community growing too. You always want to move forward. Let's look at 1-5. I just want to see the will pays and the pools. I want to see if there's a show plunge on this horse. There's not a show plunge at all. It's actually the 3 has more show money than the 6 right now, which is interesting.
And the 6-3 is your exacta favorite in the exacta pools. So that makes a lot of sense to me. But
I had one handicapper I met a few years back. He said he looks at the place pools for kind of long shots and see if there's an uptick that way, then could show maybe the horse is live.
Absolutely. I always like looking at the pools. Always. But I think let's put something together here. I think I'm close to knowing what I'm going to do.
Well, the price on the 8s dropped. We talked about the 8 as a long shot. I just thought that the horse might not get the lead. That's the thing. I feel like a need the lead type, the 8. It's going to be an interesting trip, though. I think the horse could break really well, the 8.
Delaware is canceled tomorrow due to heat, according to Razor. Thanks for that.
It's going to be high heat everywhere. Wow.
All right, Keith, let's put it in. My instinct in this race tells me to play a trifecta key and to key the 6 on top, Keith. But my instinct hasn't been working tonight, and the favorites are getting beat. So I'm a little bit, I'm a little bit hesitant to just key the 6 on top. But I do like my 3 horses, and I like them enough to say that these are the 3 I want. So I'm just going to box them. I'm going to play a $2 trifecta box, 3, 6, 10. That'll cost $12.
I like that play from a pace scenario. As a try, I think those are the 3 horses that actually could get the trip, and the pace kind of could work out in their favor. It is 5 furlongs. I know these were horses originally entered for the turf, but I think that's a good play right there. Oh, we cover a lot of horses here too in our analysis, which is great. Well, the one horse that I talked about did click down to 8-1 now. All right, well, good luck, everybody. Tim, boxing horses. This is awesome.
Yeah, you don't see that often.
This is good stuff.
I don't like boxing trifectas.
That's why you know this is going to be a big race.
All right, we're all loaded up. And a pretty even break for everybody except the 5. The 5 got left, totally addicted, left in the gate, and will break
blew it too.
last. Up front, though, we've got the 1 on the lead. The 3 is right there, nose and nose. It's 2 links back to the 7 horse in third. Up on the outside, that is going to be the 10, currently sitting in 4th stalking position. The 4 is down on the rail in 5th. The 6 in between horses 7. 2 more back to the 8, and it's still way back to the 5 up front. That's Alvarado Cat now getting going and pulling away a little bit as we head to the top of the stretch. The 1 Imperial Dynasty is on the rail, is fading back, trying to come back a little bit, but the 3 still showing speed. The 10 trying to get going on the outside. The 6 as well. So get that 10 up. The 6 is coming. The 10 is not. So the 6 is going to come late. Is he going to run him down?
Got it.
Going to be close at the wire. The 6, 3, 4. And I think the 5 might have even nipped our 10, but the 10 did not get going. The 4 was the one that beat us. Matzo ball, Jose Rodriguez.
That's why I was rooting for that 10. Exactly.
Yeah, I wanted that 10 to get going. The 10 was in stalking position, just had nothing.
And how about that 5 who actually blew the start and believe what finished 4th?
Came up and finished 4th. I believe he nipped him for 4th. So that's definitely one that I would keep an eye on going forward. Is watch that 5 next time out. Totally addicted, because that horse got completely left at the gate, was way back, and closed up really good for 4th place.
Yeah, that was the horse I covered. That second at Evangeline angle, just hopped at the start, and then the 1 blew it a little bit as well. It was a rough start for a couple horses.
Absolutely.
Wow, what a card tonight. I mean, so this was finally the race that the heavy favorite 3 to 5 wins, but without not a lot of action. It looks like the 4, it's going to be a pretty chalky result this race.
Yeah. 6, 3, 4, 5.
So 6-3 exact is going to pay you 4 to 1 for a buck.
Hang on, Dennis wants to let everybody know that he is becoming a Kentucky fan instead of a Louisville fan. Go ahead with your news, Dennis. Let everybody know. The 6 gets the win.
Dennis says he doesn't have to drive to you.
Chalky price of 3 to 5. We've had an odds-on favorite like that in every race tonight, and most of them
had only won one. Wow,
most of them have finished. Hey, Keith, before the last, I'm gonna take one more quick break. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go for it. Now you see me on the big screen. So thanks everybody. We got 1 race left here at Evangeline Downs, and probably just talk about the Jim Dandy and a couple other races coming up, the big summer races. So let us know if you have a horse you like this weekend as well, and hit that thumbs up button below. Let's get to 30 likes. Let's go. Let's take a look here. Actually want to look over a couple of horses here in the finale. We're going to get the Get Out race. It's going to be another heavy favorite. We'll see if we can get paid, though. Let's check out what's going on in the chat. We got Dennis Trusty. What's going on, my man? And everybody here supporting Trust the Prophets. It's over 30 people watching on YouTube and on Twitter as well. See, I want to look at these will pays for the finale too coming up. It's a first-time starter. I just want to take a little bit of a closer look. We'll be talking about it for sure. It's actually current favorite right now is the wow. I'm just looking at the betting here live, talking to you guys. Valhalla Viking. Oh, you know what? Not a first time starter because I cannot bet Lone Star. So my book doesn't even show that. Now I'll go to the results. That's the result page I need to go to. But we talking about this one for sure. This is actually a great betting race. I mean, we had only one scratch and a 7-horse field. But let me know who you like in the comments. So check how many likes. Hit that thumbs up button below. Ooh, we actually only need one more like, and we're going to do a shot, a toast. See about this. See, I like the Tim Thornton horse in here, but you know, I don't think we're going to get 3-2. I think the price is going to be less. Okay. Actually had a note on a price in here. I'll be talking about it. Okay, cool. Yeah, end the night on with a maiden claiming. So it's gonna be is a big puzzle tonight, right? It was a lot of favorites went down. We actually only had our first chalky winner there. Avery's Gem gets it done. And I'll read the payouts for you. It was Avery's Gem, it was a $4.30 exacta. It was a $7 try. So chalky race. Daily Double though did pay $14 to that one, the one horse that was gelded, had everything the kitchen sink thrown at him. But welcome back, Tim. I was just saying, you know, talking about only a horse or two in the finale. I thought it was probably maybe the best betting race of the night. Only one scratch, 7-horse field. Okay.
All right, Keith. Well, we're down to the last race of the night. This
Right.
one will be yours. We've got $27 in the bankroll. So
Let it ride, right? They say.
exactly. No need to keep any of it around. So don't be afraid to let's put something together that's gonna bring us back.
Yeah, no, I look forward to talking to you know, I covered 2 horses just briefly, and then a third horse. You know, it was funny because I thought the 6 was a first-time starter, and then I looked further at the PPs. I actually can't bet Lone Star, so they don't even have that as a result on my book here.
That's what had 3 starts at Houston before that as well. So 2
Yeah,
at Lone Star and 3 at Houston.
I
So
see
they
it now.
didn't show any of that.
None, 0. It just says 0 starts for me because I can't bet Texas.
What are you looking at though?
TVG.
That's weird.
It just acts like it doesn't exist because it's within their state. Crazy.
I mean, the PPs should still show it. It's just
I
crazy.
know, that's what I pulled it up right here and I have it. Yeah. But I was saying my AEW. Yeah. Look at this. All right. Saying we need only one more like and we're going to have a shot, a toast. Let's check. Oh, we need one more like. Let's go. But yeah, Sean, you know, Sean and Tim, thank you for having me on. And, you know, we still got this one race left. And I'm sure Sean's having a great time right now in Saratoga. Always a great time with Sean Patrick Nolan at the track. I know you'll agree.
Yeah, and I was gonna say this earlier, but I saw that he made a post, and I was gonna comment about it, but of course, so he was actually hanging out today with Matt Dennerman. So,
Oh, that's very cool.
I guess Matt came up there and up to Saratoga, and Sean made a post that he hung out and spent some time with the racing ambassador and great race caller Matt Dinnerman. So pretty cool.
Very good.
Sean knows everybody. He just passed 10,000 followers on X.
Shout out to Sean. He's amazing. I mean, you talk to the guy, he's so knowledgeable about the horses, and then he just, like you said, he knows everybody. I had what was it? Man, I'm trying to say the trainer's name here. I mean, it's just like, before you know it, Sean's talking to you, and then somebody famous is sitting right next to Sean. Oh yeah, it was Brendan Walsh. That's who it was. So like, literally, I met the year before you came. It was the year before at Park. So we were hanging out with Sean and Brendan Walsh, who's the trainer of a 3-year-old. I would say that's probably like the 5th best horse, Gosker.
Yes.
Luis Saez even said, I like to read quotes more and read articles. That's kind of helped me out a little bit. Luis Saez said that this horse Gosker, he got on and he said, wow, this is a serious racehorse. Whenever you have like a top jockey say that's good.
I think he is serious. I mean, he's getting better. It may not show in race results because he hasn't won those, 2 big races that everybody's seen. But even that last race and the one before that, he kind of changed his tactic a little bit in the last race, and he hung right there with a speed horse. And I just think that he's getting better. He's a good horse.
Yeah, they said he can just keep going and going. But I did see a rumor that it was going to be Parks Derby and then maybe the Breeders' Cup dirt sprint instead of the Classic.
That makes sense.
That actually could be a good move. Yeah.
It was like we were saying earlier. I totally agree with what Rob dropped in and said is that these 3-year-olds are good, but this might be one of the strongest classics we've had in a while because the older crop is really good.
Yeah. We were getting caught up with even just some horses that you think could be, obviously chalk in a race could be like 10-1 or more. Like Sierra Leone probably could be, 8-1 or something. Yeah.
And then we got to talk about this horse.
Fierce.
We played that a lot last year because of fierceness and all the stuff leading up to the Derby, and then of course he ran up the track and everybody talked about how much time he needed off between races and his AB pattern, one good race, one bad race, and everything. But he's turned into a really solid older horse, just like he gave indications of early on in his 3-year-old campaign, and he's tough. He's really running well. And the crazy thing is, you look at that barn and the owner, and they've got fierceness and mind frame.
Ooh, and then I was reading some about mind frame could be on track for the Whitney.
Yeah. So
loaded barn. Now, what do you think? I'll just say real quick on fierceness is, it was the slop last time in the race that the horse just didn't, kind of evened out at the end, was underneath. But isn't that crazy? Because it was the Champagne as a 2-year-old for fierceness. He lost that race too. So I don't think fierceness likes the slop. So
no,
if it's a sloppy day, don't bet him. That's all I'll say.
And plus he's just matured. I mean, sometimes it takes him a little while, and he showed glimpses of what he could be if he could put it together and do it every race. And now he's kind of doing that a little bit. All right, Bobby D has got an exacta box 5-1 with 6-3. Let's talk about this one a little bit. So your 1-5, good grief, with these odds on. Your 1-5 favorite is the number 5 Puckster in here. This one does, to me, look to be the horse to beat, Keith. Unfortunately, Timmy Thornton staying on board this one. And if you look at the last 4 races here at Evangeline, 3rd, 2nd, 4th and 2nd, and those were all at the maiden 10 level. Most of these have been at this maiden 5 level, and this one's dropping down and looks like should definitely improve off the class drop. So obviously the horse to beat, and has to be considered here and respected. So after that one, I think you can go a lot of different ways in here after that one. And one that I thought off an 8-to-1 morning line that would be pretty decent, but is not currently that, is the horse that we talked about, the Invader, the Texas Valhalla Viking. I just thought that these races, if you look early on, this horse has kind of been a little bit of everywhere, 6.5, 5, 5.5, mud, fast, turf. So a little bit of figuring out where this horse fits, but coming in here now in a new barn, I think this horse, they bring him in here because I think he kind of fits. He fits if you look at those maiden special weights at Houston, he definitely fits here and should improve. You look at the numbers, and the speed figures are okay. The positioning and things don't look as good. But I think that based just off of speed figures and everything, that this horse kind of fits. The trainer does pretty well with horses he's picking up first time, hits about 20%. So one to be considered for underneath for sure, because those figures always talk about win. I don't think he wins, but I do think he's definitely an underneath threat, and I like him second. Wish he was still 8-to-1, but and not 3-to-1. But and then for my third pick, I went all the way to the outside. This is the one that's really shocking me, is because this horse was 9-2 on the morning line, and he's 21-1. And I think that's a result of a 1-5 and a 3-1. So these horses are taking all the money. Everybody else is double digits, but this is not a 21-1 horse. Okay. We're going six furlongs here. So when you look at this horse at the distance, only had 3 at the 6 furlong distance. He's 1 for 3 with a third place finish. He's 0 for 4 at Evangeline. But I just think that this is a softer spot when I look at everybody else, and I tried to find somebody, to beat this horse. And I just, when I looked at everybody else, I thought this horse was the next best horse in the race based off of the numbers. So not sexy, but I do think 3 and 6 and the odds kind of show that 3 and 6 is way above everybody else in here.
Right.
And you could almost in here real quick, or I mean 5 and 6. You could almost do 5, 6 all.
Any concern with the 6 kind of running the first time at Evangeline, just the first time at the track?
I mean, always a concern, but the thing that I always like to see is, does he have a work over the track? Check.
That's it.
Seriously. If they come in and I don't have anything to look at, then it concerns me a little bit more. But does he have a work over the track? Check. How does it work compare to what he normally runs? Well, it's what he normally runs at 4 furlongs, but he ran it in the slot. So not too bad. 9th of 19 for the day. So not a blazing speed figure, but it just tells me that there should be no big difference off of what you see on his form and that based on the works being comparative.
Oh man, I'm trying to see how we're going to bet this. It's 3 minutes, and I definitely you have a lot of great points there in opinions on. I just think that the Puckster horse was kind of a horse. I circled this horse. I said most likely winner on the card, and 2 to 5. I just listen. I mean, it's a lot of truck burning again, but we saw the truck finally break through. I think this horse is going to be tough. I mean, you got Tim Thornton, the top rider, and I just think that this horse is going to win. But I have a couple other prices underneath. I thought Josie's Priority would at least be a horse that could pick up the pieces late. No, last time the number 3 was just had a bad break, and then just ended up eventually improving position, got into it. I'm hoping this horse could be much closer to the pace, the 3. I just think could factor at least to get a trip. The slop is going to play, but I looked at your 8 as well. The only thing is with the 8 is the 8's going to be sent from the outside. Do you think the 8's going to be kind of disappointed how things are, not going to be good up front? As I'm reloading my page here, but I think that it's going to be the chalk's going to win. Unfortunately, Puckster. Just have to see how I'm going to get paid. I'm kind of on a 5-3-6 angle. I just didn't really know what to do with this 6 though from Texas.
Yeah, and that's a valid point with the horse coming in, from another track. But I do think that the numbers put this horse in competition for this race. The thing about the 3 is that the 3 has had opportunities at this level, and even dropping, from the 10,000 level to this level, didn't really improve much. So nothing got better for the 3. That was the thing. The one that I thought about doing as an underneath pick is the Wildcats Meow at number 2. And the reason for that is that this is the horse of all of the rest of them. And I'm talking about after, the 5 and the 6, but of everybody else, this is the one I think is probably closing. That close in the last race at 5 furlongs was pretty good. I mean, this horse came with a decent run, was way back in that race, and then closed up in the stretch from 8th to 3rd. So, picking off tired horses, yes, but has a chance to do that same thing in here late and stretching out to 6 furlongs instead of 5. So has 1/3 in 2 races at 6 furlongs, but this is one that could be picking up the pieces late if some of the others fall apart underneath. Definitely not a win candidate, probably not an exacta candidate, but one that could finish 3rd.
Yeah, no, it's, and I even looked at the one horse, had a rail trip last time, but just faded on the rail. You would think that maybe he would get the similar trip again. 7-2 morning line, currently 18-1. I tried to talk myself into this horse, but just not in great form. A couple starts ago, good performance, but that was a shorter distance. Any thoughts on Louisiana Luca?
No, not one I like very much. I will say this. I was looking really quickly. They were showing the 6 in the paddock, and I was taking a look, but the odds, the 5 is 1-2. The 6 has come down to 2-1.
Crazy. Let's look at the Will Pays. It's 8-1 for the double for the 6 and $3 even to the 5. So pretty competitive.
Yeah, the 5-6 exacta as well, Keith, is definitely the lowest exacta, and it's paying 680-1.
Interesting. As the horses are still in the paddock, it might be some kind of delay here. You think there's lightning in the area, Tim?
I don't know. I was watching them circle a little bit here and trying.
Oh, here we go. We got riders up.
One.
Riders
up. For the last time tonight, Keith, you got to do it one more time. Riders up! It's riders up time.
Oh, and we have 32 likes, so I am gonna do a quick shooter, as they call them here, real quick. Kind of no, it's our last race, right? So we gotta have a good time. Let's see.
We're already having a good time, right?
For sure.
Always.
Were you having a drink tonight, Tim, or just kind of you were hydrating, which is always good.
I really am. It's just water, and I'm hydrating. I was working outside all day in the yard, and it's been hot.
Right.
And
and tomorrow is going to be even hotter. I don't know about you, right? It's going to be across the whole nation.
Yeah. So
shout out everybody, and it's always great to be back here in the cocktail lounge. Cheers. Ooh, let's go. Ooh, bitter beer face.
So Mark is saying, is the 6 the only class dropper? No, the 5 is the primary class dropper. The 6 is I mean, depending on different levels at different tracks. Sometimes play a little bit differently, but this one did have some maiden special weight races in Texas. So I would consider it to be a class dropper. There are a couple of others who have run at the 10,000 level, but they've been at this 5,000 level multiple times since. So to me, it's like 5 and 6 are the real droppers in here. Everybody else has been running at this lounge. Dan says only drinkers in the lounge, Tim. What are you having? What are you having, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, let us know what you're drinking. I looked at the 8 again, and cutting back in distance, it could actually at least show some speed from the outside. The 8, I just looked a little light on figures for me. I know you made a case for this 8, and on the charting horse value chart, you get a -1 for the trainer and only a 3 for the jockey. Kind of light. I want to see.
And again, I think that's a third place play for me, right? The horse is going to show a little bit of speed early on, and is not going to compete with the 5 and the 6. But I think the 8, when you compare the 8 to everybody else in here, the 8 has a chance. The real question, and the one that I always like to look at, is when I don't like a bunch of other horses, is there, in these maiden races, is there a first-time starter I like? And we do have a first-time starter in the number 4 horse, but I can't get behind that. The sire has yet to have a first-time winner. The dam hasn't had a first-time winner. Not a lot to like there for me. Nothing jumps off the page as far as the works or connections or anything. So couldn't make a case for that one as well.
Starts the career as a gelding. Yep.
And that's why I was saying that, looking at everybody else, it's almost like I think the 8 was best of the rest, but I think there are numbers to support the 2 being the horse that may close up and get third in here, and the 2 is sitting there at 22-1.
All right, I'm gonna do it because we got. Is this, you want to do a collab play, or because they're going to be heading to the gate?
I mean, sure, but I'm okay with whatever you want to play. Just
I'm gonna play a. Well, if you want to hit the jingle, and we'll be talking about it. I am gonna go. Well, we could talk about it. I think you sold me on a couple of horses. I like a trifecta in this one. It just feels kind of right. I'm gonna go with a preliminary, because they're at the gate right now. It's gonna be. I'm gonna go 5-6 for first, 5-6 for second, and then I'm gonna go with a 2-8 for third. And that's going to be we're going to fade the 3 after talking about it, because we don't want to include the 8-1 with these chalks. And we're going to play that for a, $3? Let's see.
Well, I mean,
we could play it for $4, $5 for 20 or more. Yeah.
Yeah. We got 27 in the bankroll, so we may as well do $6, which will be 24.
All right. You got it. You got the try. Yeah. Cause I got it in.
Yeah. 5-6 with 5-6 with 2-8.
All right. Those 2 horses have to close for third. That's really what it comes down to. All right. Well, the 8's got to hang on. It's going to be a struggle, but hopefully the 8 hangs on for third. 4 backs out of the gate. But watching a little too much UFC. Oh, it looks like the jockey's going to jump off this 4 and see if this horse settles. And the horse goes right into the gate. Well, thank you, Tim, so much. This has been a great time.
Yeah, Mark, I look at that a lot when I don't like anything, trying to find a firster and just take the firsters. But it just could not get behind that one, which is why that particular one is longest shot in the field. Let me put our wager down here. So,
okay, good.
We have a $6 try. You can call this one, Keith, while I punch this in.
Oh, okay, cool. I got it on my screen here. is we have a horse behind. Oh, now actually we're off here in the finale at Evangeline, and it's been a flyer out of the gate for the number 8. The gray horse is being sent like a quarter horse on the outside. We have Josie's Priority actually going to set the pace inside. And it looks like number 2, Wildcat Meow, a little tight in between quarters. It's going to be 3-8-2 up front. And it's going to be also Puckster, the heavy favorite, 1-2, stalking in 5th. And the quarter is up at 23.23 here in the finale at Evangeline. And Josie's Priority making the field think about some a 2-length lead up front. It's going to be the number 8, ask the question, but still 2-8-6. Nobody else really closing from the back. It's going to be an interesting finale here, and they're into the stretch. Let's see if anybody's going to close, but it's Josie's Priority up front with a nice 2-length lead. And we have a horse closing on the outside. It is Valhalla Viking coming in for second. And the number 1, Louisiana Luca from the clouds, but it's going to be 3-6-1 in the finale here in Louisiana.
Wow, that 5 got left behind. Josie's Priority goes out and wires the field. They let that horse get loose on the front end.
Damn. I did not see the 3 getting the lead.
Look, I can't see it. I mean, you show me one line out of the 19 races that tells you that horse is going to be able to do that. The 5 furlong on the turf on 30 June. I mean, that's it. 30 June of 20.
I didn't like the horse, the wire.
There is no indication in the PPs that this horse is going to go out front.
You think that track kind of dried out a little bit, but yeah, it's still the 3. They just let him walk.
I couldn't tell you.
Oh, it ends up the 5 just did not really run a step. That was the problem.
Craziness. It's been a crazy night.
Hey, it's going to be somewhere. I'm hoping to come back soon because I need to get a huge winner here in the lounge. It was an interesting night.
I missed it here, but Dan says he'll take the 3 in the exacta and maybe the 2 in the try. So way to go, Dan.
Oh man.
Yeah, Dan, sometimes we just have to make that adult call. I don't do it often enough.
What's that? Oh, okay.
Make the hydration call.
Hey, just your body, right, tells you what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Always great being on screen. Yeah, they just make it official so quickly, like you say at Evangeline, and these payouts are going to be monstrous.
We'll take a quick look here.
Oh, 3 looks like the horse wants to go around the track again.
There it is, official. $22.49 and $5.60. Valhalla Viking pays $5.80 and $4. The 1 horse gets up for 3rd. The one I told Keith I don't like at all pays $11.80 to show and beats the odds-on favorite again. Puckster finishes 4th. That's crazy. The odds-on favorite out of 8 races finished off the board or in 3rd in 7 of 8 races.
It was only Avery's Gem, the previous race.
Yes,
was the only horse to win and paid $3.40. Other than that, the chalk players got burned bad tonight
for sure.
And we weren't trying to play chalk, but we were trying to create value with these under horses. It was a lot of horses off form, trying different surfaces with the turf races off. So challenging night, but I want to be back for more soon in the lounge.
Absolutely. Keith, thanks for joining me. Thanks for everybody in the chat for being here. As always, make sure that you like and subscribe if you're not. Good luck to everybody playing the races this weekend. Jim Dandy coming up, big racing weekend. So check that out, and we will see everybody back Tuesday night at Assiniboia for Tuesday Night Lights. See you.